Hey everybody, I am Jackson Lanzing and welcome to V.A.S.T. This is episode 10 of season 2 and I am really excited. We are back with the Pac-Ha Peacekeep after just the Peacekeep, after the events at Terra. And we're back for what will be our last episode before the finale for these folks. So get psyched about that. It's going to be a good time. I just wanted to take a quick moment, like I like to do, to thank all of you out there for continuing to watch the show, to our V.A.S.Tronaut community, to the Discord, to all of you guys. You help make the show worth doing. So thank you very, very much for continuing to be so supportive with your art and your gifts. My God, I have that smooth Lanzing glass just like on my desk now at all times, reminding me that there are people out there who are that cool. Yeah, truly, guys. Thank you so much for everything you do. So, yeah, I don't know. Say hi, everybody.
Hello, thank you, everybody.
A special shout out to the V.A.S.T bestiary, which has started to pop up on Twitter and which is definitely a thing that makes me insanely happy every single time I see it. I need to make sure I talk about the right person, but for whatever reason, I can't seem to find.
Krista?
Yes, thank you.
There we go.
Krista McGee.
Krista!
Thank you so much for your continued amazing work. I was actually in contact with Krista. I was in contact with Krista over the Ela team design, and it was a real pleasure. So I continue to be blown away by your amazing creativity and support, and all of this would be impossible without you. So thanks. Also, a big shout out to our new sister show. Oh yeah! Wait, can we show this? Can we go to them?
I was wondering about this.
We've got dice trays, you guys. Who created the dice trays? Guru Matt.
What?
Help us to know
Guru
that
Matt
the
created
designs are visible.
amazing dice trays
can
for
we
us.
do
God.
I didn't even know that was.
Is this showing
and
up
the
on
brightest
camera?
eye symbols on them. It's amazing.
It's like
That's
burned
beautiful.
velvet. These are
So
handmade.
cool.
They like have a logo
my
like burned into the
God.
back.
These are gorgeous.
They're gorgeous.
I walked in and I was like, what is this?
Are amazing. I had no idea. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
I'm extra amazed. You guys are so great.
Buy one.
Yeah.
So let us buy them.
Yeah, I'll buy 10. This is amazing. I'm so incredibly happy that you have all continued to stick with us on this, and I want to make a shout out for anybody who's interested in starting a new thing and somehow hasn't already caught onto the hype to our brand new sister show, which means that I get to look at an LCARS wall next to me for the entire episode. Shield of Tomorrow, the new Star Trek RPG run by Eric Campbell of Eric's TBD RPG, and starring our very own Amy Dallin and our very own Sam Delev, as well as 3 awesome, amazing other players. It's a great show. I'm having an absolute blast, and I'm not just as a super hardcore Star Trek fan. And they get into the very first thing that they do in true V.A.S.T fashion is argue.
Spoilers.
I mean,
Is stuff that I can't tell you about.
you can say it. We said spoiler now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Spoilers. Is argue about whether or not they should go to a planet. So it made me very happy. I was like, oh, it's not just my problem. Now Eric has this problem too. Here's what happens when you give your players a starship. They can just choose not to do things you want them to do.
Hey,
everybody.
We're gonna get it.
Yeah. Lastly, a shout out to tonight's writer. Tonight is written by Anne Mortensen Agnew, who is not yet here, but who I will bring on camera when she is. She is? Anne, come here.
Just got here.
Anne Mortensen Agnew, everybody. Here, step up a little bit closer, because that's how we know you're on camera. Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
It's me. I'm here.
Anne wrote tonight's episode, which is called Parasites. It is super great. High five.
Thank you.
And we'll bring you on afterwards to answer for what you've done. In the meantime, Anne has pitched this one out in the room, and it's actually been relatively unchanged ever since. I'm really excited to get into this, so let's do it. So with that said, welcome to V.A.S.T. We're back. Whoa. That's exciting. All right, so we are here. There's not 10 of you anymore. We're back to the normal crew.
Wait, what?
I
know.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting times.
Numbers.
And yeah, I'm excited to get started. Anybody got anything they want to talk about before we kick off? Got any announcements? Anything you want to?
Comic-Con is in a week and a half, and we're all terrified.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Plus, our two-part finale bridges Comic-Con. So just in case we weren't having enough in our life, we're coming back from Comic-Con and then starting our finale episode. Yeah.
Although I will say, any V.A.S.T that are gonna come to Comic-Con, you should let us know because
Absolutely.
if we're around, we'd love to say hi.
Keep your eye on the Alpha forums because I believe there's going to be a party for Alpha subscribers.
I understand that is a thing that they're going to be doing.
Cool, come say hi.
Yeah.
Yes.
So definitely come party with us, come dance with us, come say hi. It's going to be a
Come
blast.
watch the Eisners.
Yeah.
Anyone
We're all rooting for our very own Jody Hausner,
No big deal.
nominated for Faith. It's pretty awesome.
Literally just signal boost the thing Jody just said, which is that if you have a badge to San Diego, anyone with any kind of badge to San Diego can attend the Eisners.
To San Diego Comic-Con, not a badge
Yeah.
to the zoo.
city.
Good clarification.
Back to the zoo.
I'd like to see you try it though. I mean, I'm here for the Wild Animal Park and the Eisners.
Yes, I can enter City Hall.
Yeah.
I can.
Ticket to SeaWorld will get me in.
Anyone can go if you have a badge, which I realize not everyone has. But if you've got one, you're in. Watch the Eisners. Cheer for Jody.
It's all very exciting. We're super thrilled. We're also, the beautiful thing about a lot of us who are just comic book people is we'll be doing signings and events. So if you can't make the party, you can just track us down at any of our individual places.
signing?
Yeah.
I can't tell you.
I know. But I want to ask you about it right now.
Colin and I have 2 books announcing next week that then we will be able to tell you about.
I have 4 things. I don't know if any of them are getting announced in San Diego.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I'm incredibly happy because these 2 things we've been doing them forever, and finally we get to talk about them. So
I know what one of them is.
yeah, you might not know the other one. I think you do. Regardless, very exciting times. We're gonna have we have an announcement on Monday and then another one coming, I think, on the Wednesday of the show. So check those out when they come. I mean, I'll obviously be tweeting about them like crazy.
Keep an eye on our social medias because I know I always post a schedule of all my panels and signings, and Jackson does, and I think most of us.
Yeah, I'm gonna make one of those fancy graphics that people make with all their signings. I've never done that before. But
I
I'm
just
totally gonna
write
do that
down my
this time.
schedule in my note thing, and then I
take a
Instagram
picture of
it.
it?
It's a smart move.
Recap, so.
Yeah, save me
like
the time.
Regardless,
And then the last thing, I have to shout this out because I haven't really done it so far, but it would mean a lot to me. If you're watching this and you go to a local comic book shop, please, for me, just go to your local comic book shop and tell them about a book called Zojaqan. Zojaqan. You don't have to take my word for it. There's a lot of really amazing writers who have come out in support of the book. Honestly, the support from people like Gail Simone and Cy Spurrier and people who I incredibly I idolize has been pretty overwhelming. But we're from a very small new publisher called Vault. We're really doing this super punk rock. There's not a lot of money in it for anybody. We're just trying to get this book out there in a really cool way. Honestly, it's pretty close to V.A.S.T in that way. It's something that we started because we really loved it, and we had no idea if anybody would find it. So if you're watching this, it would mean a lot to me if you would call your local comic book store and just get a copy, because one of you getting one copy over here, and one of you getting one copy over here, and one of you getting it really pays off. So thanks.
I can also back this up as a retailer. The single most helpful thing you can do for a new book at a new publisher like this is draw your retailer's attention to it. They have a 600-page previews they're going through. They may or may not have noticed Vault yet, even though they've been doing some really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
You walking in, your in-person praise means more to them than 100 tweets, than 1,000 CBR articles. It's the best thing you can do.
Because usually, a retailer, and you can back me up on this, if enough people are talking about the book, they'll order extra copies for the shelves, not just for
that's
the people
usually
subscribing.
the basis.
Yeah.
We've actually heard that from a few of the people around LA who've been like, oh yeah, I went into my store and then and it was mine that was the one that made them order 10 more copies rather than one. It's those 10 more are the difference between success and failure for this book. So
And because
thanks.
the name is so weird, can you just spell it so people know how to write it?
Once again, Zojaqan, Zojaqan, no U.
Zojaqan.
I will say,
Zojaqan.
spousal privilege means I have read it already. I have read issue 1, and it is stellar. So
Stop bragging.
you don't have to take my word for it, but I'm very discerning.
You
human being.
should. She's not afraid to tell us when our stuff sucks. All right. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about the Eisners. I'm excited about Comic-Con. But mostly,
Are you
I'm
excited
excited
about
about
this game?
Parasites. So let's have
Which
some
kind?
fun. The kind that are the title of this game. And also the kind that are about to kill all of you.
Yay.
I don't doubt it.
Yay.
Fun guy.
I know.
All right, so
About to die.
Nice, Ned.
with that in mind, let me open your character sheets because I didn't do that for some reason. And then we'll start this thing off.
Nice.
Reminds me of salmon.
All right, here we go.
Rainbow salmon, guys. Come on.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Sorry, Pacific
Today
Northwest.
we learned that Dylan thinks fish
Welcome.
are beautiful.
To V.A.S.T. This is Season 2, Episode 10, entitled Parasites, written by Anne Mortensen Agnew. Is the music coming through? Great. Can we turn up monitors a little bit? We begin in the aftermath of our previous episode. A few, let's say 2 days since the incidents at Terra. The Avalon has been stationed above Terra, just in geosynchronous orbit, mostly just to make sure that nothing goes terribly, terribly wrong with the immediate transfer of power and sort of lockdown of hostilities between the two almost warring states of Terra. In that time, the Bard family farm has been made essentially a protected space by, temporarily by the new government of the Republic, and they are working on rebuilding it in its best possible way to make reparations for what has been done. You received a pretty out of the blue communication from one Isaac Sebastian, who apologized it's a text. He didn't want to talk to you, because obviously very embarrassed, but essentially apologized for his actions as an interrogator for that government, because he
Qualify that as embarrassed. This is why he doesn't want to talk to me. Keep
yeah, exactly. Because he did not understand what he was working for and realizes now what side he was on and wants to try to make amends. So
Has Terran technology evolved enough that you can hang up on a text somehow?
no, it's like an email. You got a letter, a communique. There's been a good deal of that within the sort of like public service aspects of the Republic. There's a lot of people who are like realizing, oh man, we were supporting V.A.S.T for a really, really long time, and now if we don't, it would be a bad political thing to do. So whether or not he means this personally or whether or not he means this politically is kind of a question, but you got one. Lastly, however, and as part of that communication, you receive word that Victor Rampel has disappeared. He has fled. He is no longer on the planet. And there is a question mark as to where he is and what he is doing. So with that in mind, just got cute text from my fiance. Sorry. With that in mind, we are leveled off now above the planet, and the two and the all of you have had a little bit of time to just kind of decompress from the insanity that has gone on. For anybody wondering, the events of last episode, the Brightest Eye episode, are happening essentially concurrent to this, meaning that we will not be dealing with the ramifications of them until the finale. So, our characters are forging forward in ignorance because it hasn't happened yet. So in that space, one of the, that's sort of everybody on Terra checked in for you, with the exception, obviously, of the one who helped you the most, Kayla Torvis. Kayla's remained on the vessel since you dealt with Kazakul's fleeing vessel, but has not been seen for about a day. Some initial scans after, like internal ship scans, because the ship isn't aware of her like biosignature. A few scans had to be done, and it took a few hours, and eventually it became clear that Kayla was in the watering hole, your sort of garden atrium / bar, which hasn't really been in much use since most of your. You can sneeze out loud, it's all right. Which hasn't been in much use since your vessel left most of its crew with the Peacekeep. So, with that in mind, I figure first things first, before you leave, before you check in on any of this stuff, it would be good to know what was going on there. So let's say you go to the watering hole.
Yeah, I'm gonna head down to the watering hole and order myself a drink.
All right. So I'll try to silence this thing. There we go. So you arrive in the watering hole. Hold on.
Whoa.
Welcome to the Avalon. Let me tell you about yourself.
You just ruined the
I just
acting.
totally
scenario.
ruined the ambiance. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
So, Kayla.
Having a bad day? Casa Club got you down.
Well, that's the thing, though.
Tell.
Like,
Feeling lonely?
there's all of the ambience is still there because it's all auto-played, but there's no one there. If you recall, there's no bartender either. The place literally just like auto serves.
I'm gonna set the scene for you.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here surrounded just by like a bunch of different bottles of alcohol of various shapes and sizes and colors. Just fucking everywhere.
Drink responsibly, kids.
But, you know.
They're open. Some of them are half empty. Some of them are fully empty. They're just all over the place. And you're just sitting in the middle of the place?
May I pull up a chair?
Doesn't look like it's very full.
You recommend any of these in particular?
You know, I've spent 2 hours here trying to drink a bunch of alien liquors. And none of them do a fucking thing. So that sucks. But, lucky me, I managed to dig to the very back and find some whiskey. So don't worry, I'm fine.
How are you?
I'd say that's a pretty complicated question, given that the view I'm staring at is pretty space-like.
All that time you've been around, you never made it out there?
Nope.
Why not?
It's above your pay grade at the moment. Made a bad choice. Paid for it. For a while.
And now what, exactly?
I mean, I would think that sitting here for an entire day surrounded by a bunch of bottles would pretty much tell you I don't know the answer to that question.
You may be looking for the next offer? Cards on the table. We're a small crew. Everything is uncertain. I don't know what's gonna happen, and I've already lost an awful lot of people. But you impressed the shit out of me. And you took care of my mom. And you met my hero, which is pretty cool. But I could... Charlotte Rample?
Oh man. Yeah. Charlotte. Hard to forget. I miss her.
I'm not gonna get used to she's someone from books. She's someone I grew up on stories and terrible movies about her. I had all of them. That's weird, isn't it? I shouldn't.
Lucy Barr, fangirl.
Look, the
get
short
it.
version is I could really use some help. And if you have any inclination to go that way, I'd love to have you on board.
That's the thing, isn't it? I know exactly what waits for me down back on Terra. Don't really have any idea what's out there.
Why not?
Why not what?
Why not come with us?
It's complicated. Why should I trust you?
I'm learning there aren't a lot of guarantees,
Yeah, no kidding.
but I'm pretty much what it says on the tin.
And you think that is?
I want to go out there, I want to do some good, and I could use help.
I stopped joining things a long time ago. If you're looking for a soldier, you're not going to find one here. Does that sit right with you?
Well, we used to be the Peacekeep, but we weren't supposed to be an army. We do serve higher goals. I'm not going to stop. But we're about a bunch of people who are different from each other coming together to try to do that good. I think you'd fit right in.
I'm not joining the Peacekeep. I'm not signing a contract. I won't do that. I have to reserve the right to.
You can't be any less predictable than my last freelancer.
Sounds like a challenge to me.
Oh no!
I'm just kidding. Listen. I know your mom. I know your grandma. Don't know you very well, but I know the kind of person that they would have to create. So I'll tell you what. I'll come for now. See how it goes. I get it. You can't have someone coming with you who doesn't follow orders. It's not a problem. Doesn't mean I won't do it with some words occasionally. But
It's not about orders, it's about solving problems. And I have a feeling you're going to be awfully helpful in that department.
it's always about orders. But sure, let's see how it goes.
Pour me one of those whiskeys and don't tell my mom.
She'd be proud of you. She'd tell you to order a double. Are you kidding? Now, do you mind? I'm not quite done with my solitary confinement.
All right. But I'm going to compile you a better list of alien alcohols. I think you may have poisoned yourself a little.
It didn't do anything. I sat here for hours.
Awesome. So, as you leave Kayla to the last of the whiskey that she managed to pull out of the hull, with a newfound at least sense of her sticking around with you guys for a bit, we are going to pivot to a totally different part of the ship. One that isn't playing saxophone music.
I would like to be there now.
Can we have saxophone in the walkways?
Instead, we find ourselves among the trees of Pac-Ha's quarters. And we're going to start with Pac-Ha alone in those quarters. You want to give us just a bit of a sense of where she's coming from right now?
Okay, this is actually what she's been doing pretty much since she got on the Peacekeep ship. When she's by herself, she sits up in her trees. Her eyes are closed except for the top pair that are listening. And before, she was trying to listen for good idea, and doesn't need to do that anymore, she's found out. So instead, she is listening for two things. She's listening for traces of the slate, and she's listening for a tall clee that sounds like good idea.
Cool. And as so, I'm gonna have you roll that listen, and then
Should I do
wanna
that
know,
before or after the?
do it before.
Okay.
Then that'll let me. You'll buy me some time.
Okay.
So it's a perception listen. 17.
Yes.
I love you checking yourself about the fangirling. Oh, I probably should.
You're fangirling yourself who played that character. I love that.
When you put it that way, it's weird.
8.
Yeah, it happened the other way, but what's up?
8.
Cool. So as you listen, you also sing.
She sings. And she's not singing a language that anyone would recognize. It's not the normal, it's not Brightest Eye, it's not the normal Lim language. It would be known on her world as Timorian, and it's the language that Good Idea walked in and heard her and Stan speaking in and didn't understand. So. I'm singing in English, though, because I don't know made-up
good.
alien language.
Yeah, that's right. She's gonna actually sing.
An ocean of green, lightly, lightly it sways. The sun skyward weaves, shining, shining it plays. The shade shields my eyes. Swiftly, swiftly I climb. My home is alive, growing, growing with time. It reaches up and speaks to me. It fills the skies above. I listen and it comforts me till I am full enough. Rooted so deep and strong in me, I know what I'm made of. Oh, never be too far from me, my home, my only love. But does she hear anything or sense anything?
Oh yeah, but also does she says anything?
Yeah.
By the way, before it's forgotten to be said
also-
on the stream. Oh, you wanna?
Thank you, Aki, who wrote that song for Pac-Ha as part of the V.A.S.T musical that she has been working on.
Yes!
Woo!
And those were the lost verses, actually.
Yes. Cause she's feeling lost.
Well, actually, no, I thought they were more appropriate for what she was trying to do.
So
but
for an 8, you, the first thing you were listening for was the slate.
traces of the slate. Yes.
There is nothing.
Okay.
It is they're not even on the wavelength.
Okay.
And as far as listening for a tall clee that sounds like Good Idea,
Yeah, Kazofu.
yes. You do not find him, though you do feel echoes out into unknown wildernesses, into like areas that used to be controlled by the slate. So you don't feel him now, but you do actually start to sense a sort of track of where he might be. But it's a needle in a haystack kind of situation.
Yeah, but
You could draw it on a map, but it would be with a very large Sharpie, you know? It would have a lot of stuff inside of it.
Okay.
Best metaphor ever. As you sing that last verse, Nidar
Oh, my only love.
and Noble step into the trees, come here specifically to check on you. The doors close behind you and you're in her forest. It is a dimly lit forest at this point, kind of a dusk setting as you enter her room.
You probably heard a bit of that and you have no idea what the words mean.
Wait,
Noble.
What-
What was that?
was
What's
that the trees?
noise? What's that noise?
that was a tree speaking. I didn't know trees could sing.
Hi.
Oh, hey, whoa.
Hey! What?
Pac-Ha, was that you making that noise?
I'm sorry.
No, it was
Good noise.
a good noise.
Enjoyed it. Great noise.
Okay.
But I've never heard
Good.
anything like it before. I've heard Noble sing.
Yeah. Speeches of my people, but I guess that's not true. Anyway, are we interrupting something?
No, I was just sometimes singing lullabies from my childhood helped me focus more, and I was trying to see if I could get any sort of sense of Kazakul.
That's great. Did you find anything?
I think he either has been or is traversing the areas of space that used to be controlled by the slate. I don't know if he's still there, but he has definitely been there.
I have a question about this song you were singing. It sounded odd since I've never heard anything like it before, and it was unlike the noises that Noble tend to make.
Yeah, that's
Those are
true.
very unique noises.
But they sounded sad. It made me feel sad. So, are you sad? Is there something that you're thinking about? Are you singing about something that I'm not aware of?
I mean, I was hoping I could find a good idea, but someone else did it first. So now I'm not sure what to be looking for or what to do.
I climb up in a tree and find a nice branch.
All right. Yeah, you've got a 4 in athletics and a 5 in dex. I'm not going to make you roll for it.
Thank you.
Because a common Jackson roll would be, I make you roll for that, you roll a 2, you fall out of the tree trying to do something cool, but I'm going to let you climb the tree. I'm a nice guy.
That climb was so cool, man.
That was a
So
very
cool.
good job climbing, Noble. You've gotten much better than when you used to fall down all the time.
I know. Practice. I'm always coming here listening to you. That's a good thing. So, well, you say you're trying to find yourself, is that right?
You heard what Good Idea said when we left The Brightest Eye. I've thought about his words quite a bit about trying to be the best version of me, and that's not actually helpful. It's just I think he likes empty platitudes surrounded by lots of words so you don't realize how empty they are.
Pac-Ha! He's a tongue. That's what he does.
I know, but I thought maybe he would be different with friends.
What? Come on. That's a new word I just learned. That's being stupid, and I think that's almost there. But I do see your point. Look, if I may say that, he does have a point in trying to find who you are. I understand what he means.
But you know who you are. You're not letting anyone else's opinion of what you should be change who you are.
You pretty sure about that?
That's what it seemed like to me.
Yeah, 6 months ago I thought it was somebody else. Now, I still know who I am, but everybody's telling me every which way, and
They're giving you other names. That's not the same thing.
yeah. But look, I don't want to talk about me. I want to talk about you. Look, Pac-Ha,
Yeah.
we're all in this. We're all in this together. We're trying to find. All of us are trying to find ourselves. Nidar joined the Peacekeep 6 months ago. That thing was a warrior in a jar. It still is. But now he's taking time. You're taking time to sit and think. You know, I mean, that's not who we were a long time ago.
Yes,
Well,
I've tried killing less since I've joined the Peacekeep. Hasn't always been easy.
I think I've killed more, or about the same. I thought that what I wanted was to go home, but when I went home, it's like you go home and it's just smaller, and it doesn't feel the way it used to. And I don't think home changed. I think I did, and I always thought I hated space, but it's the place that feels like it fits better now. But I don't know what that means.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah, when I went home, I thought I wanted to be home too, but it wasn't the place for me anymore. I feel like, for better or for worse, my family is here with you and Noble.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, he's right. He's right. Look, we're in space.
We are.
If there's anybody on this entire ship that knows it better, I doubt it. We've been going through it left, right, center, every which way. Although I do know is that I can trust both of you and can count on you. So if there's anything that can help our situation, it's that.
And regarding good idea, I don't think we could have ever really trusted him. I don't really think we can. And to what Noble is saying, I think you can trust us. At least I hope that's how you feel. And at that moment, I say, I know I don't have any arms, but I'm going to attempt to hug you. So I'm going to try to mentally make her feel like I'm embracing her. I don't know if there's a role for that.
Dude, so for what it's worth, you do actually have your jar was upgraded. Hans upgraded your jar with some arms and
I
legs.
have like metal arms, but I kind of want to give her a feeling of love.
So you want to do a mind hug.
I want to mind hug her. If she'll allow me.
I'm not going to make you roll for that. That
Okay,
is a
good.
totally appropriate use of your powers that does not require anything more than that.
Pac-Ha, please accept this hug for what it's worth. And I reach out with my mind.
What I would like to do,
very
because this is
strange.
because this is a social convince check, or it is a social check. I would like to roll for this to see how much it affects Pac-Ha. Not to see whether or not it's effective at all.
Roll to hug.
Yep.
What am I rolling?
I'll let you know in a second. I think essentially what you're rolling is like.
Composure?
No, because it's
Damn it, I
sort of
just
the
bumped that.
opposite of a composure check. I think you'd probably be rolling something equivalent to a resolve check, because the idea here is that he's trying to you're in a space of kind of self-examination, and he's trying to make you realize no, you're surrounded by others. And normally changing your mind is a resolve check.
Okay.
So
My resolve is an 8. I am easily convinced.
Pac-Ha, roll a resolve check, and Nidar, roll a telepathy empathy check, which is 12.
12.
Oh, actually, that's not as big a deficit as I thought it would be.
Add 10 for genius.
Oh boy. That's. Huh.
What are these tones wearing?
What was that? I know, right?
This is the trees singing.
This straight.
I figured out, so I've kind of plussed I've put a couple points of my XP into my Sirenscape control, and gotten a better sense of how to use this program, and it's very, very cool. I was using all the preloadouts initially, but
We tied.
Your DM.
yeah,
We tied.
that's good. That's fine.
Is that good?
Yeah,
That's a real hug.
We both got 4.
yeah, that's completely fine.
Because I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm like,
Because then there's no forcible adjustment. It's just however you want to play it. But the hug definitely works.
I'm not here. Ignore me.
However you want to play it, and however Amy wants you to play it.
Pac-Ha just sort of looks at both of them, and all she says is, "You're the ones who are here."
Those mind hugs are pretty good, huh?
But strange.
I know, but pretty good.
All right. So with that in mind,
my picks are pretty good.
we're gonna cut away from this adorable snuggle fest and head back to the bridge, where you've all been, or to the, not really to the bridge, to the command. What do you call it? Like the conference room. And we're gonna bring you guys all together as the senior staff of the Avalon, because you are about to have a debrief with Admiral Korbash Bar.
I was gonna check. Never mind.
Yeah, what do you want?
Before we did that, I really wanted to see what happened to the ship, because it's been, messed with, and I wanted to go down to engineering.
Sure.
Because nobody probably would at that time.
Well, I mean, you have, for what it's worth, you have an engineering crew whose job it is to hit that kind of stuff. If you want to head down and have a conversation with them, you're more than welcome to.
Yes, I would. I would like to have a quick conversation.
Okay, cool.
So I leave the trees and the Love Fest, which was fantastic,
But the trees never leave you, really.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Oregon. Yeah.
Hold on one second. Let me make sure I've got this right.
Feeling sad? Feeling lonely?
Yeah,
Go walk
okay.
with the trees.
Okay. Cool. So you head to your engineering?
Yeah, I all of a sudden get a game face on, and I head down to the engineering, because I realized that that ship got out of there really quickly. We have to make sure that our engines can catch that ship, if possible, and see if everything's up to code.
Okay. So you arrive in engineering to find the relatively small engineering core that's been left on the ship, right, working your engineering. Among them is the chief engineer of the Avalon, who we've never really met before, which is kind of fun. He tends to stay out of this stuff, or they tend to stay out of this stuff. They're not really gendered. This is your Zocodal engineer, whose name is Zocodal Malcor.
That seems a dangerous species to be an engineer. Like, what if they accidentally eat something?
They don't accidentally eat anything. That's so racist.
I'm sorry about your dog.
I'm sorry, I'm an alienist.
All right. So Zocodal Malcor sees you. Yes. You are welcome here. Why are you here?
Did I say you could speak to me? I said line up.
Line up.
I do a command roll. I'm gonna.
Okay.
I'm also I'm dipping back into my memories of who was the guy in Farm World? Who was our?
You're talking about
Oh, what's his name?
Why'd you do this to me?
Commander.
Yeah.
Stalwart Commander.
That's not what it was, but go.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
I think it was Stalwart Taskmaster.
Stalwart Taskmaster. That's right.
Yeah. 15.
I don't know how to talk to.
Yeah. Stalwart Taskmaster.
Perfect. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
7.
7. Okay. I'm gonna roll against you on that one.
All right.
Okay. He looks at you. A couple of guys all like look around him. A few of them, you have a few more Terrans on the ship than you did previously. A few of them are people who've been, retrofitted from Terran security forces and people like that who saw what Bard did and have been inspired to join the Peacekeep. They all kind of look to Zocodal Malcor. Like, should we be following this guy's orders? And Malcor puts up one of his hands, sort of a mushroom mass, lifts it up, and then walks very slowly to you. You have been on this ship for many months now. And before that, you were among your own kind, or so you believed. I have read your files. I make a effort to know the crew, even if they do not make an effort to know me.
I know everything about you.
Roll for your concordance. It's 11.
But I did. I took the crew commit. Anyway, sorry.
You took the ship statistics. That is different than taking all of the crew knowledge.
Oh, I didn't know
Feel
that.
free to roll for it.
Totally gonna roll for that. This is fun. Seven.
Okay. You have his personnel file. Yeah. Their personnel file.
Okay.
It's a Zocult Malcor comes from the Zocult world of Sharon, which is the world that they were given. It's Scheron, I believe, which is the world that they were given by the Pac-Ha. Yeah, Sharon. They are, unlike most Zocotl, not particularly interested in like getting out there and doing crazy experiential stuff. Was much more interested in experiencing one thing in its totality, and that's where its interest in engineering has come from. It lives, sleeps, and breathes engineering. It like lives here. This is their territory. This is the place.
Got it.
How long has Malcor been with us?
Malcor's been with you since, let's say, since the Sanctum. You must understand. Though you may know much about me, this does not give you the right to come into my place and tell my people what to do. How can I help you, Ambassador?
Wait, so I wasn't supposed to do that?
What?
So, if I'm supposed to not yell at you?
You were raised among the eye.
Yeah.
I see.
That-
Yes.
That's what they did.
Yelling is less than effective.
Shh, shh, shh. So don't do that?
Don't do that.
Okay. Well, thank you for telling me about what's going on. How's it running?
We are at full capacity now after after a few days of repairs.
Yep.
We have full crossing drive capability, and we have replaced what few systems were managed to be stripped by the Terran government. Fortunately, our technology is far beyond that of the relatively primitive Terrans, and as a result, and you can see a couple of Terrans like giving him kind of a look. And so as a result, we have been able to protect our most valuable assets.
Good. So everything's working.
The ship is back to its optimal capacity, yes.
Okay. You know about ships and engineering, as I can see. And I take him aside and like, look, I gotta talk to you about something.
Why do I feel like I am suddenly a member of a conspiracy?
I'm having dreams. And I don't know what they are, but I keep seeing prints of things, like ship prints, which is not something I usually dream about.
Blueprints. You're referring to schematics.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. But I'm not sure what they are.
No doubt they are from your concordance.
Yeah, no, they're different, and I can't tell what they are, but I might need your help, and it looks like they might. I can remember them, which isn't normal because it's not like a dream, but I think it could help the ship. Does that make sense?
Indeed. Do you have some time? I would very much like to understand what it is you are seeing in your mind.
Yeah, that's why I came down here. I want to make sure the ship was running quick, and so we could catch who we're after, and wanted to make sure that maybe I'm just making this up, but I can see him. It's weird. It's weird.
You did directly interface once with a Pac-Ha interface, yes?
Yeah.
It is very possible that such prints, as you call them, were imprinted upon your own mind, much like the scar or a brand upon your brain. I would very much like to see. Would you let me analyze you?
Yeah, as long as it doesn't hurt.
Excellent. Come with me. And he takes you over to the ship's medical bay, and along with the ship's medical staff, starts to like essentially try to analyze your brain, scan your brain, while you describe to him what it is you're seeing, and he kind of like does a sketch. This takes a while, so you're not going to be present for the briefing, because you're sort of dealing with this.
Okay.
Your engineering and medical kick in. Nobles had some ideas, and it might be suffering some after effects of the Pac-Ha interface. They just want to make sure that, it's a routine thing, nothing life-threatening, but they want to make sure they take a look at him. They'll report what they find.
Captain Bard, just a point of clarification. You hoping for me to take some sort of position here, or?
Not tactical, that is full.
Don't take my job.
Yep. Wait, did we settle on which job you want?
No, we didn't, but I was science officer is fine.
I could really use an XO.
I don't know what that means.
First officer.
What does that entail?
Help me run the ship.
Never been on a ship before. Seems like a poor choice. I feel like my talents are more useful elsewhere, but I suppose it's not my determination to make anymore.
We'll see as we go.
For what it's worth, one of the core functions of an XO is also just to counsel the captain, which is its own thing. Okay, so senior staff in the command chair, in the conference room, and you receive a hail from Admiral Korbashvar.
On screen.
She looks well, if troubled. Behind her, through the view screen, you can see the Sanctum continuing to spin. There are a good deal of peacekeep ships there, but less than there were the last time. Captain, crew of the Avalon, how are you?
We're fine.
Your report was illuminating. I was very sorry to hear about the degree to which Terran leadership had been corrupted by this foreign agent.
Have you had any luck tracking the foreign agent?
We have a good deal of our current science corps working on exactly this problem. As far as we can tell, his ship has headed somewhere deep into former Slate territory, what we are calling husk space.
That was what I sensed as well.
Our scientists have been hard at work tracking it along. However, husk space is vast, and we have very little ability to run telemetry inside of it, as we have 0 installations or presence there.
And you got our information about the signal we planted.
Indeed. We've been using it to triangulate. Without it, we would have nothing. Suffice to say, I'm very troubled, but very grateful that you were there. I find now that my decision, however unpopular initially it may have been, to task you with restoring elements of the peacekeep has been one of my better decisions. I am very pleased with your service and would like to formally extend an offer to step into more of a leadership role with our peacekeep. When the current crisis is resolved, I would very much like to speak to you about taking command of more vessels and perhaps stepping into a role of coordination and perhaps in time even admiralty. No Terran has ever been offered such a thing, but I do believe now there are very few who would tell me that it was not an excellent idea.
Well, that's a lot to think about.
You do not need to answer me now. However, in the short term, there is a mission of great import that, no doubt, you are the only one qualified to handle. This Tall Klee, rogue, Kazakul, as you have named him. We have been able to trace his actions across the galaxy, not simply for the last few months, but in fact years back. It would appear that this Tall Klee has been, for some time, arranging elements throughout the galaxy and destabilizing governments towards an unknown goal. Whatever it is he is planning, we believe it is coming soon. We believe the destabilization of the Vrare Horde, the destabilization of the Siren Ventures, and in fact, the destabilization of Terra, as well as the infiltration of the Sanctum that you discovered when you arrived there, are all indicative of Kazakul's actions. We believe he has been operating in private among several other species as both a technological uplifter and also as something of a common criminal, kidnapping and experimenting on the most vulnerable populations.
We were told he was on your planet doing just that.
Yes, the legend of the wizard.
Some of our people have some history with him.
In order to better understand this Tall Klee, I believe it is deeply important that we seek out advice from the Tall Klee. Tall Klee world ships are themselves quite distant and not useful to us. However, we have received, well, let's just call it a bit of a confusing offer. There is a Tall Klee world ship currently within Peacekeep space, near to us and offering aid and assistance in this matter, in exchange for, well, they won't tell us, but they will tell you. In fact, you have been asked for specifically. I believe this information must be invaluable. The Tall Klee have never reached out to the Peacekeep as a partner in anything. Their distrust of the Pac-Ha ran deep. It would appear now that, with the Pac-Ha no longer in service, perhaps the Tall Klee consensus is prepared to speak to us.
Or it's because they didn't think they could get the better of the Pac-Ha, but they don't take us as seriously.
If that is the case, I have no doubt that you will prove them incorrect. I'm transmitting coordinates to your vessel for the Zocodal homeworld of Sharon. There, you will meet this Tall Klee world ship. They have asked for those to be the rendezvous coordinates, and I do believe it will be the most convenient. While you were there, please make sure that Sharon needs no assistance from us. It is a world that does not tend to operate as deeply within the Peacekeep, though they are, of course, a Peacekeep member world and under our protection. Because we do not have a ship currently stationed there, it will be the first time we have seen them in quite some time.
You said Sharon is the world as, like, I'd like to see it, how they're doing.
Good.
But much as I want to understand this guy, I'd rather be going after him. You promise you all are doing everything you can?
We're doing all that we can.
Perhaps the Tall Klee would have the technology to track their own better than we do.
What do you think?
I think it's right. I think we should consult with the Tall Klee and go from there.
Forgive me, what is a Tall Klee?
They made my arm.
A lot of science, not much ethics.
Okay.
Ms. Torvis, I've been updated as in terms of your new position aboard the Starcrosser Avalon.
That was quick.
Indeed. It is a great honor to have someone of your distinguished record. We're aware of your Terran history, and we would very much appreciate your service.
You got it.
I thank you. The Peacekeep thanks you. And for what it is worth, I believe that you will find space to be quite enlightening.
We'll see.
Anything more that you need from me, Captain?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I assume sharp eyes are being kept on my home planet while we are away.
Indeed. I believe those eyes will be arriving in 3, 2, 1. And from the windows of the conference room, you see 5 Starcrossers cross in. Yeah. All of them now above the planet. There specifically to do the Avalon's job of keeping an eye on this planet and making sure that their transition to civilian government works well.
I humbly request to be informed, for the ship to be informed, for the captain to be informed, should anything change.
You will, of course. Terra is, and I mean this with no irony, our very top priority. Loss of this world would be devastating to the Peacekeep. Not the least of which because our most prominent current officer comes from there.
I think that is you.
It sounds like we got a mission to be getting on with.
Quite.
Thank you.
Thank you, Captain. Sanctum Command, out.
Deferential is a weird look on them.
Feels like it's been earned to me.
Been captain for 6 months and I've nearly crashed the Peacekeep into the sun, but sure.
Lucy, I'm gonna come sail with you. Gonna have to start looking better upon yourself.
Well, let's just get the job done. Ready to make some sketchy promises to some unreliable scientists?
My favorite
Let's
thing.
do it.
One of the 3 Talkley I've encountered have been good, so
Those are great odds.
Better than
they could
0.
be worse.
All right. So, you guys head to the bridge?
Aren't we already there?
No, you're in the conference room.
I'll answer you.
I love how everyone was paying attention except for me. I was like, I thought I was already there.
So you all head to the bridge. You are ordered to report as well. They, by the way,
Yeah.
while you were there, they managed to get some initial sketches of what look like classified upgrades to the Avalon, or to Starcrossers in general. Things that were buried inside of the Talkley, mindset, like things that were, and these are, thousands of years old, in terms of their design work, so they may never have actually been implemented.
Go on.
I will go on later. They need to analyze them first, but there is certainly something. There was something scarred into your mind from the helmet.
Because okay.
The concordance seems to have kept it around. What's up?
Is Yidris still on the ship with us? Does she make it back to us?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to have assumed that I want to pass that bear technology that I stole from a while back
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
onto her and kind of see what she makes of it.
Awesome. So Yidris comes up and reaches one of her many arms out, takes the.
I think they're like hydraulics of some kind.
Yeah. It was sort of like a sack of various bear style hydraulics. Takes them out. These are very strange.
See what you can make of them. Like to see if they could do me a benefit.
Oh. I'll take these to Zocald Malcor. I bet we could come up with something.
Sounds good.
And so she does, heading down to, with a sort of eager grin, heading down to engineering to take a look.
I have one more question.
Please.
As we were getting ourselves together. Did New Kid stay?
Yes!
Does he have
I was
a
waiting
name?
for you guys to be in a security situation where you might need him.
Okay.
Because his position is up to you. He's a security officer. That's what he's good for.
Sure.
My question is where you want him on that hierarchy.
Wherever we've got a space, I assume that Pac-Ha as tactical is my unofficial.
She's your unofficial head of security.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because otherwise that's where I'd put you. But
I mean, you
Just
could also
wherever
do
in
that.
security he
That's a
feels like.
perfectly acceptable thing, by the way. If you wanted to basically have Pac-Ha be the tactical officer and put your XO in charge of security, that's a perfectly acceptable thing. And then we can just make him essentially Kayla's, like, attaché.
can you look after this kid?
Who is this person?
All right, so
The random human army defector that we talked into coming with us out of
one
the
guy.
crazy facility last time.
Oh,
he didn't have a
poor guy.
name, so I've just been calling him
He
New
killed
Kid.
everyone else, right? Or something like that, didn't he?
his name is Jonah Haskamp. Jonah Haskamp, JONAHSSCAMP. Yeah. Jonah Haskamp is a bit of a, like,
Fly fisherman.
he's sort of a old school Terran, family, low level, low economic strata kind of guy. He's a very like straightforward way of looking at things, and definitely is in this for Bard. Like, was super impressed by Bard during their thing and has been sort of into it.
Hero worship.
Oh yeah.
This is gonna be fun, kid.
I'm very excited to be here. I've never been to space. You been to space?
No.
Cool.
Oh man, get the fuck out of my sight. I can't deal with you right now.
Yes, sir. And he heads down to lower decks.
Okay.
Really?
What was I gonna do? Leave him there?
God. Okay. Didn't know molding young minds was going to be a part of the job description.
Is that a plus or a minus?
Look at my face. What do you think?
I just imagine Danny Putty is the new.
Yeah, for sure. For sure he's played by Danny Pudding.
Yeah.
For sure
That's who
he's
it
played
is.
by Danny Pudding.
Yeah.
Yes.
On the show?
What was that?
Can we get him on the show?
Oh yeah, anytime.
Going to play,
Just call him up.
Danny, your first officer.
All right, so head to the bridge. By the time you sit down in Helm, you have been your coordinates have been upgraded to the Zokold homeworld of Sharon. At the science station, you walk up Nidar to find, where is it? There we go. To find Lieutenant Carabrigia, who has been on the ship since the very first episode.
What?
Yep.
Sorry.
It was one of the initial. It was actually the person flying the ship when
a lot of people
when they first arrived there.
Oh.
Stands up and offers the station to you.
Thank you very much. I have to tell you the truth that this science thing is a little bit new, so stick around because I may need your help.
And Carabrigia nods. By the way, at this point, I think it's fair to. I never ID'd species for Carabrigia in the pilot. I was just like, it's one of the many peacekeep species. I'm gonna make them an Ela team. Because I've been waiting to intro some cool Ela team officers. I love that species. So Carabrigia is a full adult Ela team, meaning a little taller than most of the ones that you encountered. The conical horns are a little longer, and Wim has been fully charged with orb energy.
Although most of us didn't meet though, because that was
That's
the
true. A
old
lot of you
peacekeep
haven't.
crew.
Yeah. Okay. So Carabrigia will sort of sit over your shoulder and help you out. I'm gonna get the pronouns eventually, but we whispers to you. For what it's worth, I was a pilot.
Thank you for telling me that. How do you turn this thing on?
All right. So course laid in. You find that there is a seat for you next to the captain. Open for you here on the bridge of this beautiful starship.
I do not sit.
Welcome to the Avalon. That one's yours.
I'd rather stand if that's all the same to you.
Wait a minute, she gets to sit there? Good going.
Captain? Orders?
Set a course for Sharon, please.
Wait, Sharon? Do you know your engineer comes from there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That's just, a happenstance, I guess. All right, course laid in. Give me the go-ahead, Captain.
Go ahead.
All right.
You take the ship to crossing speed. And the ship takes a little bit of time to get there. This is your first time at crossing speed, Kayla. Roll composure.
I don't have a composure roll.
Nice.
Nice.
Time to make one for you.
up. This is
Puddle of
amazing.
tears.
No, it's not that she doesn't have a composure roll.
No, he's
She
never given me
Yeah,
one.
I've never given her a composure roll.
Gotta macro it.
But she's standing up. It's amazing.
Sitting is uncomfortable.
Is there just a Kayla Torvis-shaped hole in the back of the bridge?
Normally, your military training would come into this, but here it doesn't. No problem.
Oh, he so does have a point, though.
If you think I'm gonna freak out, you have another thing coming.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you're gonna freak out. It just might really impress you. 6.
Okay.
You're gonna break out.
Way to set me up to fail, bro.
Doing what I can.
And this ship's fast. Like, it's crazy. You aren't gonna handle it.
Crazy fast.
2.
You are very impressed. You sort of have your, you were like standing next to the chair. When it goes to speed, you're holding on to that chair. Like, it's not like this thing doesn't have some feel of inertia. So like, it's like a thing. The stars are streaking past. It's pretty impressive. It's not like your hair is blowing back and you're screaming or anything, but it's like, there's a little roller coaster to all this. All right.
Do you sit?
Nope.
Okay. We arrive at Sharon, the world the Pac-Ha gave the Zocodal after the Slate wiped out their original home. Nidar, you immediately pick up 2 distress signals coming from the planet. The scanners immediately hit.
All right. Captain, we have, I'm sensing something. We've got distress signals coming in. It looks like there's 2 of them.
Pick one and play it for me.
All
Would
right.
you like me to listen to see if I can sense anything?
Sure.
Can I just pick the whatever's closest, the closest one that's coming in?
Okay, so there are 2. Go ahead and actually roll your science check, which I think is going to be the first time you do this.
Yeah. I don't
It's
even know what it is.
it's like a scan. It's a normal scan check, like not a telepathy one.
Should I go ahead and roll for
Listen.
perception listen?
Yeah, if you like.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna give you this thing in just a second here.
All right.
Scan. Control danger sense. 12, please.
Oh, all right.
Oh wait, no, I gotta add the Avalon. Hold on.
Ah, add the Avalon.
It's been a while since you guys have been on the Avalon.
Doing ship stuff. It's good to be home.
Getting picked apart.
Captain, there are 2 ships ahead of us. We'd like to zoom in on the hull, see what it looked like.
Are there 2 ships ahead of us?
What?
Wait, it said 2 signals,
We got
right?
2
2
distress,
distress signals from the planet.
Never mind.
And add 10
Forget
to
what
that.
I'm saying.
10? Okay.
Yeah.
And I got a 7 for perception lessons.
Okay.
I was just put through a machine. I saw some things. Forget it.
All good.
How am I driving?
So Jody, Pac-Ha, you feel, you reach out to the planet, and there are trees on this planet. There's a lot of wildlife, and all of it is confusing. It's all sort of mixed signals, each passing to the other in strange ways that don't make a lot of sense to you. The root systems don't seem to be It's what you would you would think of as like a dying forest on your world, but it could just be the nature of the Zocodal. That said, the same is true of life on the planet. You can detect a great deal of like biological life, like Zocodal life on the planet, but it too is just very confusing to listen to.
So I'm not getting any specific.
It's almost like static.
Okay.
I rolled 9.
Wow, all right. There are 2 signals. One is coming from a Siren ship that is parked on the planet. For the 9, you get to ID the ship. It is a Siren transport vessel with a transponder that indicates that it came from the Siren homeworld.
Great.
Secondarily, the other trace is coming from not terribly far from there, the Zocodal capital city of Mycelium.
All right, so Captain, we got 2 signals. One's coming from a Siren ship, and the identification is that it's this ship came from the homeworld, and the second signal is coming from the Zocodal capital, Mycelium.
Any information about the nature of the emergency?
That's all I have right now. I'm not sure if there's anything I can hone in on or not.
Everything down there feels very confusing. I'm not sure if they're confused or it's just not something that I'm not familiar with, but feels a bit discordant.
See if you can't reach either one on hails.
All right.
You try hailing both. On the one, you try to hail the Siren vessel.
Siren vessel.
Its hailing transponders are completely down. It doesn't even accept a hail. It's almost as if the ship were offline. Meanwhile, on Mycelium, where you should be able to get in touch with Zocold Kitronos, who's the governor of this planet, you instead receive static.
And Captain, neither signal is responding to a hail. It is complete radio silence down there. I do not have a good feeling about this.
Lack of good feeling noted and shared. Is there anybody we can reach down there?
There's no transponder signals coming from the planet.
All right, is there a designated landing zone in the capital?
There are landing zones in the capital.
Is the tall Clee ship we were sent to meet anywhere in range?
It's a good question. Anybody spotted it?
As you say that, suddenly the Avalon is jolted, it's been sort of at a cruising speed, is just jolted to a stop, and then slowly begins to move backward from the planet, away from Sharon.
Noble, what are we doing?
Is this normal?
This isn't, hold on, this isn't right. Engineering!
This is engineering?
Yeah. What in hellfire is going on right now?
I don't know. It would appear that we are currently being moved, not of our own volition. I can't seem to get the engines to... I mean, they're firing, but they're being overcome by an enormous amount of force. I don't know what could do this. And then, from on your view screen, you have, the ability to sort of see around your ship. Mm-hmm. In the reverse view screen, you can see it. It's on your console.
Oh.
Appearing from behind you as if out of thin air is a large, very large, half the size of a planet large.
Like massive.
Yeah, massive. Silver disc-shaped ship. This huge flying saucer. Just
Noble, why are you laughing? What's going on?
enormous.
Of course, that's what it is.
And he puts it up. He puts it up on screen, so you can see it as well. This is a huge vessel. The plated steel, or the plated sort of silver, seamless steel. You've never seen a ship like this before, but you've seen this material on Takah's arm.
Yeah. I figured out it's tall clay.
Tall
Yeah.
Clee.
Captain, that's a tall Clee ship, and it, of course, is the only thing that could stop this. Hold on. Is there a way I can roll a helm check to kind of break out of the? It seems like we're in a tractor beam, right? Mm-hmm. Can I see if I can try and get it out of the tractor beam?
You can try.
Yep. Okay. Whatever.
This is a helm check.
Okay. All right. Everybody, hang on. These things, they piss me off sometimes.
Beat an 18.
Oh, all right. This will be fun. This is rolling music. This is rolling
Here,
music.
we'll,
All right, that gets rid of that. All right. And running out of space. All right. Thanks, Amanda. All right. Oh, wow. What? All right, here we go. Come with me. Damn. 9.
You push the ship as far as you can to its limits. It does not work.
That's it. I tried.
However, as you do this, Nidar, you receive a communication on your station.
Captain, we have a communication coming in.
Yeah, I'd sure like to hear what's going on.
All right, can I just broadcast it to the bridge? Why?
On screen.
Tall neck.
Appearing on the screen is a young, tall Klee woman, who look very, very much like tall Klee men. They are almost completely indistinguishable. She appears to be around Hans's age, for those of you who knew Hans. Or I guess you all met Hans, so she appears to be around Hans's age, but unlike him, is dressed in a heavy brown coat and is very frowny. She looks at you, Lucy, and smiles for half a second before she addresses you all.
I do not smile.
Captain Lucy Bard of the Peacekeep. My name is Oria Simon of the Tal Klee Natural Order. I am contacting you on behalf of Order Representative Dr. Saari Adan-Devaz. We would like to speak to you.
I wave my tall Klee maid arm. Is that why you have halted our ship?
Most convenient for you.
This isn't my definition of convenient. Are you picking up a couple distress calls from that planet below?
No, we have just arrived in system. I'm sorry, is this inconvenient for you? You do not want the tractor beam. Have I made a mistake?
You know, we do not require it at this time. It is very nice to meet you. It looks like something might need to be taken care of before we resume this discussion, which we have very much looked forward to having.
Yes, I understand. Oh, this is very, I can't, excuse me, and the call glitches off. However, the tractor beam does not.
Right. Nice folks.
Well, great.
You are slowly dragged into the silver ship, which is large enough that it is actually that the Avalon is but a fraction of the size of this thing, so it can be brought in the way a shuttle might be brought into a docking bay. The entryway seals shut underneath and disappears as the Avalon is settled into the center of the docking bay.
Look, no hands.
And then, nothing happens. Silence. You can see a handful of Tal Klee outside the viewport examining your ship. A few of them have little notepads and are taking notes. But none of them get too close. They all give a distance. And a couple of them are they don't have watches, but they're looking at, the time and looking behind themselves like they're waiting for something to happen.
I'm going to ask my arm a question.
Okay.
Arm, you were made by a tall Klee. Do you recognize what those tall Klee out there are doing?
Oh, yes. They are doing what Tal Klee do very best. They are researching.
Is there any sign where they would be researching us?
Why, yes. The Starcrosser Avalon is a very advanced vessel, and the Tal Klee do not have very much access to Pac-Ha technology.
Oh. So they're scavengers. That is rich.
Oh, that is not necessarily true. Scavenging and researching are two very, very different things.
Okay, that's not what I meant. Gosh, sometimes I don't miss Hans. All right. Captain, look. What are we doing?
Did we ever name our transporter technology? What do we call them?
We just call them transporters.
Okay. Can we use our transporters from in this docking bay?
You can, yes.
Can we just open the door and step out?
That would be the.
Yeah, but there's 2 distress calls on that planet. I want to talk to the Tall Klee, but they're not my top priority.
Count, with all due respect, they got technology that might be able to help identify everything going on down there.
Sure, let's poke our heads out and say hi.
Okay, so who are you taking out of the ship? Everybody going out the
My
ship?
arm could maybe speak for us in a language that they understand better.
I know how to speak Talkly.
Well, yes, but this
That's
thing
true.
understands how Talkly think is what I mean.
That's true.
Sorry,
My plan
Arm, I
is for
didn't
all
mean
of
to
us
call you a
head
thing.
to the planet as soon as we can, but Lieutenant Commander Gotem can have the bridge for now.
Yes, Captain.
I think it's a lady.
Yes, Captain.
Yeah.
Ready to go meet some scientists and talk them into ignoring us for a second?
Oh, great. I get up and start walking.
Arm, are you willing to help us in a information
Gotem's a-
exchange with them?
Gotem's for what it's worth, Gotem's a ditopus. They're essentially omnigendered.
Okay,
but
I wrote down female ditopus.
it's
but
completely fair to call them a female ditopus. They can have those characteristics. What do you got?
Arm, are you willing to speak with the Tall Klee on our behalf if necessary?
If it is necessary. However, Tall Klee can be very reasonable, as long as they are not some Tall Klee who are total assholes.
Agreed.
I like your arm.
I like my arm.
Your arm may be my favorite Talkly.
My arm might be my favorite NPC.
Disembark.
Okay, you guys transport out into this docking bay. The various Tall Klee around you, who are like, taking notes on the thing, suddenly surround you in a little ring and are all talking amongst themselves, like sort of chit-chattering as they take notes on you.
For me, what do Talkly look like?
Got it. Tall Klee look a lot like the sort of traditional, like old school science fiction concept of gray aliens. They are, except they're not so short. They're very, very tall. They're very thin. They've got, heads that almost look like a heart if you like pulled the top divot out. Huge eyes, big eyes cover most of the face, and then a little slit for a mouth. They're not very expressive, and they talk pretty high and pretty quietly.
But I wouldn't understand what they were saying, right?
Yeah, no. Long, spindly fingers.
I wave the Tall Klee maid arm.
My name is Captain Lucy Bard. You have tracted our ship in here without us cooperating. May I speak to Oria Simon or another representative?
Can I roll a perception check?
Yeah, absolutely. So Kayla, perception check is 17.
17?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Young animal reference. Kayla Torvis has a cybernetic eye.
That's not great. Okay.
So they're all just looking at us and taking notes?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay.
It's a 6.
You hear some kind of distressing, like arguing coming from beyond the ring, like beyond where you guys can see. And you hear in a, let's see, I'm trying to think how to do this. I'm gonna, yeah. So you hear just sort of like a general like argument, but you can't really hear what it is. One of the voices, or you can't understand the language. One of the voices is definitely the voice that you guys just heard on the speaker. The other one is an older, more authoritative female voice who seems to be very angry. They are approaching you.
Can I understand them and hear them?
Well, it's
sorry.
It's her perception check.
Oh, that's promising.
As you get closer and closer, you can hear the words, "We can't just take them, that's the point!" And as this happens, the round sort of ring around you opens up into a V. Still taking notes, but they all just kind of make way for the Tall Klee, so you know what I have to do.
You didn't have them
Getting
ready?
confusing.
Play it in sunglasses.
Oh.
All right. As they make way 4,
The happy cows are cool.
Dr. Saari Adon DeVaz. That's CA'Ari-ADONDEVAZ. The other one is Oria Simon, the one who you spoke to previously. DeVaz is, she appears to your eye to be somewhere in her late 40s, though tall Klee ages are much longer than that, and is dressed in a white coat with a blue robe underneath.
So she's the younger one or the older one?
The older one.
Okay.
Captain Bard, welcome to the Starship El-Kair. ELCAIR. I am Dr. Saari Adon DeVaz of the World Ship Natural Selection. Station of the Tall Klee Natural Order. I hoped to make your acquaintance under, and she looks to Simon for a second, smoother circumstances.
I have some questions pertaining to that.
I apologize. My attaché is at some points more rash than rational. This was a mistake, and I would like to very much apologize to you for it.
Well, it is a pleasure to meet you, Saari Adon DeVaz.
Thank you.
Are you aware that there are 2 distress signals emanating from that planet down there right now?
We were alerted to them by your vessel. We have been tracking them ourselves now. Yes.
Any idea what's going on down there?
Yes, but
I look forward to our conversation, but that's not the kind of thing I can ignore.
understood completely. If you will give me just a few moments to understand the situation, what I can do is offer you my personal aid in whatever is going on down on that planet. I assure you, I am one of the most educated when it comes to Zocotl biology that you will find anywhere in our great galaxy.
I want to lie detect about her intentions.
I was
to help
going to say
us.
the same thing, actually.
Yep, go for it. Takah, lie detect.
It's a
Do you want to do the
third.
same thing, Caleb? Okay.
I have it as 13.
Like I always say, trust but bring
Yes.
Takah and Kayla.
I love it. Now you got two lie detectors.
Oh my gosh. So many dice.
Yeah.
That Talklee's named Ori, correct?
What?
Oria?
Oria? The Talklee.
Saria.
The junior.
Or Saari Adon DeVaz.
Jack, that's a 7.
That's the senior.
Oh, you're talking about
Junior one is
Simon.
named Oria Simon.
Yeah, Oria Simon. Sorry. Yes.
It's a 7?
17.
You do not. You don't get much, Kayla. All of your stuff has sort of been designed to be read Terrans. Doesn't seem to be a lot of lying here. And she's correct. There's not a lot of lying here. That said, Takah, what you do recognize is that there is a certain amount of reticence to go down to the planet. You'd almost characterize it as fear. She's not lying about not knowing what was going on down there, but she is lying that she would be happy to help you. She's offering the help, but she's definitely nervous about it.
You seem disturbed by what may or may not be happening there.
I'm sorry. I am unfamiliar with your species. What are you?
We are often referred to as the limb.
Ah, the brightest eye vassal species, which must make you a mind.
What they are my tactical officer and my science officer.
Indeed. Apologies. I am aware that the brightest eye has been reforming its vassal races and as a result no longer uses such terms.
Yes, it is.
Apologies. Please. But 5 minutes of your time in my quarters. I would be very happy to help you with anything on the planet. However, before we do this, I must fulfill my charge. For though we are on, though this vessel may look quite enormous to you, we are on but a small part of a great world ship, all of whom require your assistance.
Is it more urgent than the unnamed emergencies going down on that planet?
To me, it is.
I value your priorities, but if you could find out, do any of your sensors going to reassure me that nothing's burning down there?
And she pulls up a, like, almost out of thin air, a holographic reading of the planet. The planet has, as far as we can tell, been subsumed by some manner of biological mass. This is not simply the Zocodal, but something further. I am unsure what exactly it is or how exactly to stop it, but I do believe that rushing into it might be a dangerous mistake.
That's actually something I agree with.
How about you try that one more time for the less educated among us?
There's something weird on the planet. Unless we want to also be weird, we might want to take some precautions.
And it did appear that it has affected the Sirens who were here as well.
Bluntly, Captain, our technology is superior to yours. This is known throughout the galaxy. What we can do for you is provide assistance and aid, but only if in you we find an ally.
Usually allies don't spy on what is superior to them. Oh, inferior, excuse me. Words.
Well, we are not yet allies, are we?
Ah,
Potential allies do not usually abduct those they wish to ally with.
Again, I apologize, my charge is a bit... Oria Simon was born, and at this point you see Oria, it gets, like, she, like, turns, like, 3 or 4 shades of pink. Oria Simon was born without her secondary neural cortex, and as a result, sometimes does not think things through as well as a tall Klee might. I love her deeply. I believe she is a very valuable member of our consensus, but she does sometimes make more rash decisions. As previously stated, I apologize. I think you will find that she is very useful in capacities other than those of diplomacy. And Oria, like, looks at her with, like, kind of side eye, like, this is, like, really not, I'm not psyched. This is how you're characterizing me.
Yeah, water under the bridge, but on my ship, when my people go rogue, it's usually on me. Let's have this conversation. I would very much appreciate your help. I hope we can be allies, and it sounds like some people down there might need some intervention.
Why, yes, indeed. Please. And she snaps her fingers, and all of you are all of a sudden in a completely different room. It doesn't take even the time of your transporters. It happens in a flash. You are now in a...
okay, that was weird.
You are now in a well-lit room with a desk, a few chairs for you to sit in. Each of them has been assembled to your biological specifications. So for Nidar, it's literally a, you know, there's like a plug-in insert for you to sit. She has a few books here and there, like old school bound books, as well as digital readouts and holographic readouts. There's centuries of different kinds of technology around. It's kind of like a, kind of like an old like ship's library.
Yeah,
Like
I
on,
don't sit. I stand behind Lucy with my hand on my sword.
Nice. Against the wall, you would also see a well-lit galaxy map with 4 spots marked.
Is Oria
Are they in
Simon in here?
No.
Okay.
And do we recognize the areas of the map that are highlighted?
You want to roll a perception check? Or rather, an academics check for that?
Sure.
I'll go up to the map too.
Okay. So for you, roll a concordance check. For you, Bard, please roll an academics check. That's 23.
Can I borrow some dice?
Actually, I want to roll 2 because I have the listen that boosts my academic.
Yeah, nice.
Everybody look at the map.
Are we all looking at the map?
Let's get
I am not very smart, so I'm just gonna sit here.
I'm just standing
like,
by
it's
in
safe.
case
I
anyone
got
needs any
it.
help.
I don't actually have a roll for this though.
That was a nice roll.
The reading map roll.
Yeah, I just have ancestral memory gives you encyclopedic knowledge of the galaxy, but it doesn't really specify
I got an 8,
how
Jack.
that works for a role.
What was that?
8.
Sorry, say it one more time.
My listing gives me ancestral memory, or ancestral memory gives you encyclopedic knowledge of the galaxy, but it doesn't specify how that works for rolling.
That's encyclopedic knowledge of like your area of the galaxy. The galaxy of it all might be from back when that was a thing for Elarians and Star
I still get a
Trek.
bonus for academic rolls, so I
Yes.
still would like to roll for it.
Sure.
I don't have an
Go for it.
academic.
Though honestly, Bard, depending on how Bard rolls, because Bard's rolling huge on academics, you might not need.
I want to try that, but I need an academic macro. I don't have that.
Okay, I got you.
All right, I got 1, 2, that's a 6. That's a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
So yeah, I can tell you right off, you aren't gonna need this. But if you want it, I'll build you
Yeah,
a
just-
macro.
or at least
How much does listen plus your academics?
+6.
Plus 6?
My academics itself is a -3. So.
Yeah. 6. Your academic check is a 6.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not gonna.
So, Bard, what'd you roll?
12.
Okay.
I think that's what I just said.
So there are 4 points on those maps. 3 of them you do not recognize, but you can make a general assumption that these are the 3 location points of the Talclee world ships. There are 2 that are deep in Talclee space, which is basically a small area, really isolated down near, like under the Siren Venture. So if like the Siren are here, and then up here you've got the Brightest Eye, and then over here you've got the Peacekeep, Talclee space is way down here.
Okay.
2 of them are there. The third one is about halfway between their space and Peacekeep space. This is the one marked natural selection.
Does that correspond to where we are right now?
No. This vessel you are in currently is just a part of the world ship natural selection.
Okay.
The fourth of them is a planet deep in husk space, which you recognize from your learnings at the Peacekeep Academy as the original homeworld of Zokold.
Jack, I rolled an 8. Would that boost her at all?
It doesn't need to.
Okay, great.
You have pretty much everything that you would need off of that.
Okay, great.
Also, the Concordance, mostly you just taught the Concordance this stuff rather than the other way around. The Concordance knows very little to nothing about the Talclee.
Oh, wasn't there? Oh, I thought there was an agreement between the Talclee.
The agreement between the Talclee and the Brightest
Right,
Eye
yeah.
was an agreement between Hans and the Brightest Eye.
Okay.
Hans does not speak for the Talclee
Of course. Nope,
consensus
fine.
in any capacity.
Got it.
If anyone's looking particularly curious, then I narrate the results of what I'm seeing on the map, but I don't know if anyone.
And Devaz is there with you
Oh,
as you look at that.
No, it's getting weird.
Yes. Our world ship has become removed from the Talclee consensus.
physically or in another way?
In quite every way. How much do you know about the Talclee, Captain?
Not as much as I'd like to.
Then perhaps I can be of service. The Talclee. Earlier, you mentioned that as a captain, things that you do, things that your crew does, stop with you. In the old Terran parlance, the buck stops here. Yes?
I know that phrase.
Yes. We also know that phrase.
What's a buck?
We abducted many humans
like a deer.
back in the day.
It's like a deer.
And see, this is the point. All Talclee are responsible for their own actions and their own research. Talclee research can be into anything. My own research was dedicated to quite a bit of time on Zokold. However, Talclee research must be shared with the entire consensus. If a Tall Klee is found to not be sharing his research with the consensus, that Tall Klee is no longer a member of the consensus and is outcast.
Was Kazu Cool outcast?
Oh, yes. Kazu Cool. In our language is not a name. It is a phrase. It is hard to translate, I believe, into languages that you would recognize, as Tall Klee language is extremely efficient. However, Kazukul most fully translates to better than you. He made it quite clear early in his career that he was no longer interested in consensus, that his research was for the betterment of himself and not the betterment of us. However, I must say, in some ways, the being you refer to as Kazukul was quite correct. The Tall Klee consensus is a brutal thing. It has no sense of what is right or wrong, only what is knowable and unknowable.
And where do you stand?
I stand with you, Captain Bard. Stories of your heroism have reached even so far as our planets, our world ships. You stood against the slate, uniting many species together. You now stand for the Peacekeep, protecting their worlds as you would protect the world down there. So put, again, quite bluntly, and not to waste your time, we seek that same protection. The Tall Klee World Ship Natural Selection would like to formally petition for membership in the Peacekeep.
Lie detect.
Sure.
Can I? Do I understand any of this or not?
Yeah,
I'm not
this is
sure
all
how
in
the
English.
translation- Okay.
Yeah.
We all understand.
She is speaking in English for the use of all,
Okay.
or Pac-Ha Basic, for the use of all of you.
This will take a minute.
I find this all
And actually,
very
do visor contacts go in for lie detection when it's someone right in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Though that's really only if the contacts like know the biology, but I'll let it go. Go for it.
Oh, jeez.
Captain, a quick word.
Certainly.
Look, I don't know how things work in, diplomacy with you and all that, but Tall Klee for certain do not ask for help. So I just want you to be aware this is very strange.
14.
Appreciate you keeping an eye open, but Tall Klee doing something they don't do means we're already in uncharted territory.
We're already in uncharted territory, and I'm just saying be very careful.
You reach into her mind with your listen, like you're sort of listening for that lie detection, and all you get is a sincere desire to start anew. And it's not just from her, it's from many, many voices behind her, like a choir. It's similar to what you always heard described as in the Brightest Eye Concordance.
They all agree they want a new start.
I'm delighted to hear it, frankly. There's an awful lot of space between absolute consensus and better than you. And if that's where you're headed, that's kind of where we live.
We agree. We have done quite a lot of analysis. I think it would be fair to say that we know you better than you know yourself. We are quite excited to join your Peacekeep and to share our knowledge with you, but also to no longer be expected to follow knowledge wherever it leads, even there where it might destroy or hurt another species.
To be clear, does this agreement involve only this ship?
It involves my world ship, one of 3, a full third of the extant Tall Clee population.
Is that this one right here?
This is but...
I'm pointing to the map.
Oh.
I'm pointing to
yes.
the dot on the map yeah.
Yes. The natural selection is currently holding outside of Peacekeep borders as we did not want to be seen as a incursion. Once we have applied directly for membership, or once you have relayed our request, or perhaps even accepted our request, we will happily come here and find ourselves a place. We ask only one thing. We would very much like a planet.
Do you speak for all of the ships or just for yours?
I speak for every member of the Tall Clee Worldship Natural Selection. All of our decisions are made from full consensus, a full democratic vote. All of those who did not agree with the consensus of our worldship have relocated to other worldships where they might find a consensus on this matter.
Why do you feel this way and the rest of you don't?
Have you ever done something that stayed with you, no matter how many times you tried to forget?
Who hasn't?
Most Tall Clee. We live our lives without guilt. We live our lives without morals. It is easier, smarter, some would say better, that way. We disagree. I still have nightmares. Tall Clee do not have nightmares. I would like to start dreaming again. So too does my worldship.
I don't run the Peacekeep, but I think we'll be mighty happy to have you.
I find it hard to trust those whose motivations are unclear.
That sounded pretty clear to me.
I knew a Tall Clee who felt very much like they did about not performing science without considering those it would hurt.
What is this turning point that they're talking about?
That I don't know, but I know
I
that
feel like that's a significant question.
perhaps
If you don't
but
know someone's motivation, I don't see how you ally with them. Going in blind.
I can tell you that she isn't lying to us.
I'm not concerned about whether they're lying or not. I'm concerned about their intention and the reasoning behind the decision that they're making. That, to me, is of paramount importance
I
for the
agree
safety
completely.
of us and this entire ship.
I agree completely. She's not wrong. Captain, I told you, as much as they're saying they want to help, let's be honest, this is a little odd. 1/3, not the whole part. Look, I'm not trying to waste time here because I know we have places to go, people to save or things to save, but heads up, this is odd. They might sincerely want to help and be a part of it, but why now? They got nightmares. What gave them that nightmare?
Lucy, I'm not telling you not to accept their alliance. I'm merely sitting here as much of an outsider as you can possibly get, wondering what the motivation here is.
This is good example of what it's going to be like in the Peacekeep. We do argue a lot.
So do we. We simply do it among our own kind and not in public view. You see a little bit of a smile across the face. It is actually quite refreshing to witness it in other beings.
Doctor, I have a question for you. Noble, defender, ambassador of the brightest eye.
May the eye shine bright.
The eye shines bright.
The eye shines bright. Yes.
Correct.
I am sad to say we do not have a great deal of information on the brightest eye. Our one consensus member who went to your land has not shared information with us since.
He hasn't.
Oh. You must be describing Hans.
Hans Roald Nirun, yes.
That's correct,
He
yes.
made this.
Impressive.
It's very nice.
Yes. For the work of a child.
Well, I think Hans would have made you proud on many occasions. I have a question for you in terms of what the situation is. Why now come to the Peacekeep? Why not seek out other civilizations like the Brightest Eye, like the Siren? Why this, Lucy Bard? specifically?
Because the brightest eye, forgive me for saying, are exactly the opposite of what we want to be.
That's fair.
We seek an end to violence. We seek an end to war, an end to domination, and an end to forced consensus. The brightest eye believe in all of these things. Moreover, in case you are not aware, those members of the brightest eye who are, well, brightest eye, are currently governed by an ungoverned AI. This is a clear violation of all Tall Klee laws regarding artificial intelligence. We do not truck with this. For what it's worth, the AI revelation is not the idea that that the concordance is being governed by an AI. This is not surprising to
No,
you.
that's not what I
Okay.
was like. We shouldn't tell them who did that then.
Yeah, I'm just
We said that, Luce, right?
No,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it was Hans. Who did
yeah.
it.
Hans and a few of the others.
How do they know about
we
that?
know
Did
about
someone
it
did
already.
pick up on that?
Well,
telling me-
the Tall Klee, I mean, the brightest eye haven't been like super secretive about that. Like they've been publicly reorganizing their society.
Dr. Sari, you're telling me a lot of things I'm excited to hear, and they're terribly flattering. Do we know what's eating the planet?
I would be very excited to find out. Now that I have passed along my message, I am free of my, well, let's call it my responsibility to my consensus. I will now provide easily a series of containment suits which will be able to filter out any possible contamination, and perhaps we should head to the planet to decide and understand what is going on there.
Contamination?
We believe there is something in the planet right now. The air and the plant and biological life seems to be acting erratically. However, without actual boots on the ground, as you might put it, we are unable to assess the extent of the damage. Tall Klee, normal procedure would be to send this ship into orbit, abduct as many samples as possible, and dissect them to the fullest extent. However, we no longer do things like that.
Shame.
I would very much like to understand how you do things.
This is why they're sending us down.
Will you be coming with us?
Yes, I will come with you,
That is
as
lovely.
promised.
That's very nice to hear. Very reassuring.
Kayla, I'm not saying we have to trust her, but I think she can get us down to the planet.
I'm not the captain here.
Well, feel free to tell me I told you so later.
Oh, don't worry.
Let's get some suits.
Let's do it.
Did I have a communicator, by the way?
What's up?
Did I have a communicator?
Sure.
Okay. Can I, as everyone's getting ready and putting their
You guys head into a little bay where there are robotic suits ready for you. Unlike the sort of clunky containment suits that occasionally have to be worn in the Peacekeep, or just like the armor with the little bubble, these things are like very transparent. Like when they're on, you don't see them. They just kind of sit over you like an air filter.
Is there any added defense to them armor-wise?
No.
And does it interfere with like gun arm or
Then-
anything?
No, it should not interfere with any of your weapon systems. These are
before-
very smart suits.
Before we leave, I need to ask if you have Peacekeep armor I can borrow, or I can have, because I...
Yes?
Oh yeah, for sure. You have uniforms.
Okay, I would like to armor up with Peacekeep style, please.
All right, Kayla Torres getting a Peacekeep uniform.
Peacekeep
Whoop, whoop.
Whoa, whoa. I didn't say uniform, I said armor.
The armor is a uniform is armor.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Not
Not happy about it, I know. You can wear like a jacket over it or something. That's how Noble dealt with it there at the beginning.
That's right. Still do.
All right, what's
Hold on, I'm getting it for you. So the normal uniform has an armor value of 2. With the armor, it pops you up to 6.
My armor's already 6, isn't it?
No, your armor was. You had street clothes and a security uniform, both of which had a 1 or a 2. This is a 6.
Is it your skin that has a 6?
Yeah, your Kevlar skin's a 4, which is an armor soak. But now you have a 6 on top of that when you're armored. So you
so
have a
it's a
10
10.
armor going on.
Copy that.
So as we're in the locker room, I just called the engineer real quick.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, engineer, you there?
My name is Zokult Malcor.
Zokult Mal! Hey, look, Mal, let me ask you something. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm not gonna tell anybody, but I don't think what's happening down on your planet Sharon is normal. Am I correct in assuming that?
There is something happening on my planet?
Oh, you didn't get the update. Okay, well, let's just say yes and yes. Look, we're going down there to investigate, and it doesn't seem like things are going well, and it seems like there's something in the air, and there's no responding. Nobody's responding to anything down there. Now, I'm gonna ask you, because you seem to be an expert, because you are a Zocodal, what could possibly be happening down there that contaminates air?
I don't know.
Do you do anything as Zocodal to contaminate air?
Not beyond our spore release. This is a natural process.
Spore release?
Yes, we are a spore-based life form. We naturally, this is how we consume and project.
Consume? You consume?
Can we all hear this?
I mean, you know, you
the
can hear
consume
his
part
side
you
of
hear.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, we're hearing this?
You can hear that side of
consume.
it.
Consume? What do you mean you consume?
Who's he talking to?
Are you all right,
What?
Noble?
Stop wasting time.
Oh, so
What are you
sorry.
doing?
So sorry. What? Tell me what do you mean consume? Just putting the helmet on.
Do you need assistance with your helmet?
No. I got it.
Is it consuming your face?
Zocodal are spore-based life forms. I don't have time. Excuse me. I don't really have time to explain to you my biology. I suggest that you check up on the Peacekeep records.
Did I hear you say who you were talking to?
Does she?
Well, it hangs up. You can.
Okay. Consume. Going to a place that consumes people.
Noble, what was that?
What? Consuming. It's a new word I just learned. Consume. Consume. It's an old, speech. Consume spores.
So, the.
You're a terrible liar.
Shut up, Kayla.
I'm not even lie detecting. I know you're lying.
So Dr. DeVos
Malcor,
steps.
was Noble just talking to you?
Captain, yes. Yeah, he
What the fuck?
he alerted me to the situation on the planet. I'm currently doing my best to analyze the situation.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. If there's anything that you learn that can help us, let us know. We're gonna do everything we can down there.
I very much appreciate it. Thank you. For what it's worth, I never much liked Sharon. There's a reason I left. But please save my people.
We'll do our best. My world's not so great either.
He's the complete opposite of Pac-Ha. She's like, fuck the people, save the planet.
All right. So the silver flying saucer that you're on releases a smaller saucer that you guys are on. That saucer heads down into into Sharon's atmosphere and a blanket of cold gray clouds. You touch down at the edge of a forest, where a winding path at the end of the forest leads to Mycelium, which is large in the distance. It looks doesn't look like a city, right? So much as it looks like a giant series of fungal growths, almost like mountains from a distance.
Now that we're like right by the forest, I just want to try listening again to see if I get a better sense of
Go for it.
anything.
This is the home of the Peacekeep built spaceport and landing area that you were supposed to land at Mycelium, or at least where it should be. Most of it seems to have just vanished.
Define vanished.
Like it's no longer there. Like
Are there remnants of it, or is it
no.
just like
No roads?
non-existent?
Yeah, like
Is there
it's
ground over
dirt.
the level of where it was, or is it just as if the thing stopped existing and the ground is where it used to be?
The ground is where it used to be. It's as if the thing stopped existing.
12.
The ship lands, the port opens. That chaos that you were listening for earlier, even more prevalent now. It's almost like when you try to tap in, when you open up your listening glands, you're hit with, like, let's say the static volume in orbit was like a 2 or a 3. The static volume is now a 10. It's almost painfully static. But to the rest of you, silence. Like eerie, utter silence.
Kyle, what's going on?
I can't. It's loud and not making any sense.
It's loud? It's
Yes.
quiet. Can't you hear that?
I'm listening.
Hear what you're saying?
What are you hearing? What noise do you hear?
It's just, it's like static. There's noise but no information.
All right, there should be a port here, and there's nothing here. Who's got ideas?
I take out my military drone, unpack it, and I send it out.
Okay.
Oh,
Get a scan.
yeah, that's the drone.
Are you reading any life forms, Nidar?
Well, I was wondering, did the Talkley have? Do we have any of their equipment with us or anything that we could use? Did they give us any?
Well, you have the ship.
We have the ship.
You guys are like next to the
Where
ship.
is there any way we can?
So, questioning the difference between a perception roll and an investigation roll here.
An investigation roll is like you have a thing that you want to investigate. So you see a clue, you can investigate that clue.
Okay.
Perception check is what gets you to that clue,
Okay.
essentially. Perception is what do I see? Investigation is I have a specific thing I'm trying to figure out.
Okay.
What do you got? You want to release your drone?
Yeah. What do I got to roll?
That I'm just gonna say the drone's gonna head out there. You know, it's a military drone. It doesn't have much by way of scanners.
Okay.
But it's got a little camera.
But I can see what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll a perception check.
I'm gonna do the same,
Okay.
just in case.
What is your 13 Noble,
Yep.
Kayla 17.
Yeah, I just wonder if there's anything, science-wise on the ship that could scan for life forms that was more than anything we're doing already. Or
Sure.
not.
So if you want to use the scanners on the vessel, you can. I warn you that they are very advanced. As
So
somebody who
my
has
ability to be able to use them would not be very.
not great, but you've got a Talkley with you, so she can sort of sit there with you and work on it.
All right, let's try it. Let's see what
Okay,
happens.
so I'll go ahead and do the scan. What I'd like you to do is roll for
Oh, I do have this. Yeah, that's right. What's
roll for intelligence.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, no, roll for wits. I guess actually it's an investigation check. That's really what it is. So go ahead and do a wits, investigation, science,
Is that a duck?
No, it's the me.
danger sense. 13, please.
13. Okay.
Wish I rolled better, but it was a 9.
Okay.
8.
Okay. So that's gonna
like a
pop.
full
That's gonna
success.
pop you up to an outstanding with Kayla's aid.
Okay.
You step out. You send out the Terran drone. It heads into the forest, and it shows you that you've got that there's like one sort of long path ahead of you. Ferns, thin trees with brown and white bark, a sort of thin canopy, soft, grassy, moist dirt, light moss over kind of everything. And that's sort of in the thin woods that you're heading into now. But beyond that, there are thick woods, deeper and darker, that head off towards, that sort of head. It's like a shortcut towards Mycelium. Or then you can just stay on the road, and that's kind of the thinner woods.
So the thinner road takes longer?
Yes. The other thing you catch is a bit of a kind of like movement in the trees. How was that check?
In which forest?
4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay. In the dark forest. The heavier one. Okay, so their scanners rolled pretty low. But it's still a full success with your assist. Essentially, Devon is sitting there and sort of goes like, this is very odd.
What do you see? What's going on?
Well, you see, we're surrounded by life forms. And yet, I see nothing there. Moreover, the platform that you insisted once was here, I'm detecting trace elements of the platform all over the surrounding woods.
Now that you're down here on the planet, is there anything more you can tell us about whatever it is in the air?
No. It would appear that whatever is in the air... Oh my.
Omar's not good.
When Zocodal are emotional in any way, they send spores from their body. These spores communicate their various emotions. It is their way of communicating. Zocodal do not have a spoken language as you would recognize. They instead communicate via spore. The spores in this particular area are readable by my instruments. As I said, I'm quite familiar with the Zocodal.
And?
What are they saying?
Fear
Oh, good.
and panic.
Consumable fear, panic, spores. Well, this is just great.
Lucy.
I didn't get any of that when I was listening, right? That was just all static.
Static.
Pac-Ha, tell me if you disagree, but I see no tactical reason at this point to split up. There are two separate paths here, but I see no tactical advantage to dividing the party at this moment.
Sure, I'm all in favor of sticking together, but I don't know which way to go. What do you mean there are trace elements all over?
Throughout the woods. As if
The dark woods or the regular woods?
all of them.
As if what?
Captain, it is entirely possible that the Zocodal have consumed this platform.
I fly higher,
Okay?
and I see I go sky high to see if I can get a full layout of everything.
I mean, you see the woods, the path,
That's it?
the mycelium. Like, what are you
was
looking
moving?
for?
Can I see what was moving?
No. The higher you get, the less distinct it is.
I say
Captain,
we
it
just
sounds
keep
like
pressing forward.
We should just move forward. But it does sound like what was here has somehow evaporated and is now in the air.
Or been consumed by.
Okay,
I don't
consumed.
see any more answers being found here, and staying here just seems a waste of time.
Right. Got a recommendation on that road?
To be honest, the way I see it,
Was she asking you?
wasn't she asking everybody? And
I
I'm the one
didn't
with the
think
drone that
so.
can see the road?
What have we learned?
Learn there are two roads. There's a shortcut that goes deep in the woods, gets us closer to mycelium, but then we got another road. It's thinner. And to be honest, I think that might be the safest way to go.
Kayla?
I agree.
Let's go.
Okay. So which way are you heading? I'm sorry?
Skinny road.
The regular one.
Skinny Road.
Skinny road.
Okay. So you each head down the Skinny Road.
Oh, I did want to add before we walked out and in range of our tall Clee friend, the fear.
The
that
tall Clee's coming with you.
Yeah, but the fear that she could read, I didn't feel any of that anymore.
This would be expected. Zocodal biology is extremely complex. Even such amazing devices as your natural ability may not be able to detect their specific wavelength or emotional spectrum.
But the other life form, I should be able to, shouldn't I, here?
Yes, perhaps.
It's all one giant chaotic noise.
And as you head deeper into the trees, you hear a sound in the woods. A small rustling. As you go deeper, the trees grow thicker and darker even around the thin path. The dirt beneath your feet becomes drier and darker. Which one of you is in the lead? Caleb?
I think, well, either you or me. You're the tactical officer.
Well,
You,
the thing is, I was going to say, because she's from a tree, it might make sense for her to try to go into the trees, even though that seems like...
Can she travel via tree?
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I'll be in the aft.
Yeah, she wants to go, not too far from the group, but a little,
Okay,
All right, so forward, rear.
great. Pac-Ha,
Oh, Pac-Ha, I guess you're technically forwardness.
you know what you're about to roll, right?
Yes, the thing that I always botch.
Yep, it's an athletics check.
Go tree roll.
Yeah, where...
15.
Yeah. Let's not fall out of trees this time.
Maybe the song
Trees
will
are your
help.
friend.
With Sondheim, it's amazing.
Trees are your friend.
Well,
Sometimes. Not terrible.
5.
It's all right.
That's okay.
It's not a failure.
Not terrible.
Before it was like negative.
Oh, okay.
Takab, you scale up the trees, and your arms and legs are hitting branches, and it feels okay, and you're getting up there, and you're starting to kind of, there's a little bit of you that's like, oh man, I remember how to do this. This is cool. This is actually like, maybe I won't fall out this time. And then
Maybe I won't be on fire this time.
when all of a sudden one of your limbs reaches up and grabs something that is like squishy and kind of gross. And when you do that, you hear a sort of moaning from about a foot away from you.
Going to look and see what's. And maybe pause and see.
You turn your head to see you've seen Zocodle before, but something has gone terribly wrong. These are sickly, yellow, bloated, and its face is right up next to yours. A huge, black, curving, stalk-like thing shooting up out of its head. Very unlike any Zocodle you've ever seen. It roars at you. And lunges for you, pushing you out of the tree. She lands.
Can I catch her?
Sure, if you like.
I want to land. I want to just not fall on my face.
Okay, then roll an athletics check.
Okay, the same one.
Yeah. Then roll that if you want to catch her.
If I botch, then you can. I want to not fall on my
want you to make
face
this.
for once. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6.
Ooh.
Not bad.
That's not bad. I'm good with that. You push off, but you sort of backflip and land right next to Kayla.
Ooh, backflips.
Yeah, sort of end in like an Iron Man landing, right?
Yeah. 3-point landing.
3-point landing.
Except it's like with all the limbs, it's like a 6-point landing.
6-point landing.
Doctor,
What happened?
I just point up at the thing.
And you point up, and you can see from both sides of you, out of the tree line, like a horde of Zocodle, but with, again, these crazy black stalks coming out of their face, or out of their heads, and like bloated kind of yellow bodies, all kind of coming out of the trees. And Kayla, you can see down the road a few of them running towards you.
Oh, here we go. Prepare yourselves.
Oh yeah. Joan's gonna roll for initiative and shoot from above.
Oh, this is very bad, says Dr. DeVos.
Really?
As we go to break. So we are going to go to break. We're going to come back and encounter some Zocodle zombies here on V.A.S.T. Hey, we're back. Welcome back to V.A.S.T. We're going to jump right into it because I don't like wasting your time or theirs. I love wasting my own, but too bad. All right, we are, where we left off is you guys are on a Zocodle planet. You're on the Zocodle homeworld of Sharon. You have been, you've teamed up with a Tolkien rogue ship that wants to, world ship rather, that wants to join your peacekeep. But, unfortunately, the two of you have discovered, Mr. Churchill, the two of you have discovered a horrifying situation on the planet Sharon that happens to coincide with the Tolkien arriving here. I know, right? They are all zombies.
Wow.
As they pour out of the woods and the roads, we come back to V.A.S.T. You are now in combat with Zocodle zombies.
Holy hell!
And I'm not going to give you a number because there are so many of them.
What?
Is this a roll
How
initiative?
how quickly are they moving?
The ones in front of you, like on the road, are moving pretty quickly. They'll be here in a turn, but they're
No, I
not
mean,
going to
like,
be
are
here
they
in the
zombie
initiative.
speed or are they like serious, like
Which
hauling
zombies?
ass?
Right. Are we talking like 28 Days Later zombies, or are we talking like old Romero
Shaun of
zombies?
the Dead zombies.
So far, the ones that you can see coming at you are moving at more of a Romero pace. They're not like running.
I don't know what that means.
They're moving at a
Shambly.
gait.
They're
They're shambly
shambly, not-
zombies.
Dashy.
Okay.
All right. Dr. DeVos, can you talk to these
Romero,
people?
I have never seen anything quite like this. I do not know what I'm looking
I'm
at.
firing.
My immediate suggestion: keep moving forward, hacking as you go.
Yeah.
Should we all roll initiative?
I'd like your initiatives, please, because you are now in combat with the zombies.
All right, so I'm going to Tsukikage and add my weaponry to my initiative roll.
Sounds good.
Does the drone get its own initiative? We never had to ask this.
The drone, no. You control the drone. So if you are using the drone, then it's your initiative check. You get what I'm saying?
Got it. Okay, great.
It's not a character.
No, good to know.
It's a weapon.
Also, for the record, weapon is still sheathed.
Yes, I always assume sheathed unless you unsheath it.
Can we see past the zombies coming down towards us? Is there anything beyond them? Is there like shelter or anything?
That is a great question that you can check on your turn.
Okay.
Question.
But do I have a choice between checking or fighting? Is that a
No,
okay.
you can do a perception check and still fight.
Got it. Okay.
I got a 3.
Your perception check essentially takes the place of your
3?
move action.
Got
What's
it.
up?
Not good.
I got a 3 on my initiative.
Okay.
I got a 5.
I got a 4.
I got a 6.
I got a 1. I know.
Okay.
But maybe someone who has a better perception should look beyond the zombies. And see
Okay, so
Good idea.
so turn order. All of the Zocodal are going to go last.
Thank God.
Because they're very slow and there are a lot of them, but most of them are up in the trees. And the ones ahead of you are at least a turn out. So, Noble, you go first. Then Pac-Ha, then Kayla Torvis, then Lucy Bard, then Nidar.
All right.
So, Noble, what do you do?
Nidar, can you mind control any of these guys?
I'll try on my turn. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
you have a okay. You have a turn.
What I do is a perception check count as a turn?
What was that?
I want to use my camera very quickly without rolling attack just to see if there's any shelter or anything ahead of us.
Sure. You want to use a perception check.
Yes, perception check.
Okay.
Hopefully that doesn't count as an action. That's a passive action.
Well, okay, so I want to be clear with you, right? When I talk about Nidar doing that as a passive action, that's because he's a brain in a jar. You are looking at a pad. You have an iPad, essentially, that's
Boy,
showing
yeah.
you, yeah, dude, you have a military drone, right?
Right.
You sent the military drone up. How do you think you're seeing what the military drone sees?
To be honest, I thought I just wired it in my concordance. I
No,
could see
it's
it.
old Terran tech. It's not going to wire into your concordance.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to be looking at a pad. That means you're not using your weapon. That means you're like that's your weapon
Fight
and you're using it.
first.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got that. Okay, great.
No.
Then I'm gonna shoot.
Okay, you're going to shoot.
Yeah.
All right, so you're pulling your burn cannon, or you're pulling. What are you pulling? What do
No,
you?
I'm using the drone to shoot.
Got it. Using the drone to shoot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, got it. So you're bringing the drone like back down.
Don't need to. It's high enough. You just tilt it. It shoots down.
I understand. Okay, what are you trying to shoot?
The guys that are coming closest to us.
Got it. Okay, sounds good. So this is a helm check.
Yeah.
Can we just, as I establish that, we're continuing to move forward. Like
Absolutely.
we're not just standing there.
No problem with that.
Okay.
Damn. Gonna borrow one dice, thanks. Oh yeah. Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank
What
you.
are the mechanics
You're
of whether I
very
can
well.
tell what Noble is doing and have time to respond?
Sorry, meaning. If
If I'm
meaning
aware
you're
that
trying to
Noble
cut
is
him off
taking
before he does a
preemptive
thing,
lethal action,
you can see that he is, pulling the thing out and doing something. If you want to try to talk to him about it.
Noble, what you doing?
Protecting us from things that are coming towards us.
Do we know if these are sick
Well,
people?
seems like they are, and they want to hurt us. So you tell me.
Do you really want to stand around and wait to see if they attack us or shake
No
our
one's
hands?
saying stand around and wait, but
Too
we haven't
late,
been attacked
boom.
yet, and we don't know what's going on with them.
Okay, so you want to just fire?
You just want to keep running?
I'd like to know what's going on.
Doesn't seem wise to stand here and wait
17.
for them to
No one
surround
is
us.
saying stand here.
Okay.
Well, if you want to
So
clear.
as everybody starts to argue, Noble, you set a position for this thing ahead of you guys on the road and fire the drone's weapons. The drone fires 2 large-scale Terran rockets, both of which fire down, lighting the area up ahead of you like napalm.
Yes.
Ahead of you, that whole area of Zocodal that were coming your way are incinerated. by this explosion, leaving a sort of charred area ahead of you that you can run through.
Move!
Do not stop.
As this happens, by the way, so you guys continue to run. Actually, hold on. I need to roll. I forgot to roll initiative for Davin. 2. Okay. Rambo. Okay, so Davin's gonna go right before you, just FYI. Okay, Pac-Ha, you're up.
We are running. I'm doing claw hand. And if there's anything in reach, I will strike it, but I'm going to be more perception listening to see now that there are like actual beings in sight to see if I can, if I can focus down specifically on them.
Sure, go ahead and do a perception listen check first.
We obliterated everything in front of us.
The ones
they're
ahead
still
of you,
in the
yes.
trees.
But there's stuff in the trees coming down.
So they're
towards you.
coming behind us as we keep running.
Well, yes, but they're also in the trees ahead of you. Like, imagine
Oh, I
the
see.
thing is lined with things,
Okay.
so you've still got sort of side problems, basically.
Copy
Side
that.
problems.
I love you, little drone.
I'm so happy that Sirenscape has a Cthulhu setting.
9.
9?
Now's the time to give an order if you don't want any more firing.
Dr. DeVos, can your people take us out of here?
Huh.
If we want to go back to the shuttle, we should do it now.
Yeah. 6
Copy.
to beam up.
We can attempt it. The problem obviously being there's like such a weird like spore concentration in the air. You might take some of that with you, but you can try it. Talkly world
Don't
ship.
want to
because he
infest
enters
the
that
ship.
stuff.
Surely the Talkley have a clean room.
Yeah, we do. All right. Setting beam coordinates now.
How did the roll go?
Give me 1 second.
Okay, sorry.
Setting beam coordinates now. This will take just a moment. And they're starting to set the thing, but we need to get through a round and then you guys will be up. What do you want?
I did. Shoot, what did I say it was? 8, 9.
I didn't hear you.
I didn't have a number.
I said the number.
Was it an 8 or a 9? There's literally no distinction.
It was one of those two. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you listen now to the ones that are coming out of the trees. One of them like leaps down at you. We'll kind of slow down time for a second. Leaps down at you, and you can hear in its mind a sort of like constant refrain. Help, 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 help. It jumps down towards you, like teeth bared. What do you do?
I'm going to leap back out of the way rather than striking it if I can.
Cool, dodge check. This is your defense plus 10.
Yeah. Okay.
And since it's not really their turn, it won't attack you this round anyway. I'm just.
That's a whole bunch of 6s. 6. No. 8.
Yeah, you beat the check. So yeah, you do so, and it kind of tumbles off into the woods, kind of out of control of itself, absorbing parts of the ground as it goes.
They're crying for help.
I had a feeling they might be. Can you take us out of here?
That is the plan. I'm working on it. Meanwhile, you guys keep having to move forward. Kayla,
Yes.
what's your turn?
I mean, I'm on the defensive. So if something's coming after one of us, I'll defend, but otherwise, I'm not
you're
doing
just-
anything.
Okay, so you guys are you guys continuing to go down, or are you just trying to like huddle up and wait for the transporter?
I mean, is it more helpful to stay still?
That's a hard. I can give you a tactical check for that. Tactical analysis for 18.
If it comes down.
Six.
Okay. The longer you stay here, the more these things from the sides of you are going to be able to get at you. Getting down that thing is probably the better bet, especially because you can see if for whatever reason the transporters don't work, there is a small glint of like a structure that seems to be off the road now. It's got like it has little sort of nacelles kicking off of it as if it were a starship. This may well be the
moving.
Siren ship that you
Keep moving forward. Let's go.
located
Not
in orbit.
stopping.
Are we not moving forward? What are we doing?
Keep moving. We're not stopping. You all know what to do. I want you all to come back alive, so do what's necessary, but we're not killing anyone we don't have to.
Lucy, you doing anything else?
Other than having my weapon out and ready to go,
Can you stun
is there,
anybody?
like, I don't have any scanners on me.
Do you have any stun capability?
I believe I do.
You don't have to kill him. But
My scatter beam has a stun, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I probably didn't bring the electron power armor on this one. So I'm just booking it with the rest of y'all, I think. Unless somebody makes a move.
You want to stun one of them?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Unless somebody makes a move, I'm just booking it with the rest of y'all.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we'll call that a thing. Actually, since you guys are essentially running at this point, rather than trying to engage, I'm gonna pull off of initiative. I just want you guys to roll speed. I just need everyone to roll speed. Your sort of immediate concern was taken care of by Noble's drones, so now it's just a matter of do you clear the horde or not. Anybody need their speed?
I see mine.
We can't. Jack, I've never asked this. Can we add willpower to speed? I've never.
You can have willpower to anything,
I would like to.
except for bridge merit check.
I'll act to 1 willpower to speed.
Okay.
All right.
I've seen The Walking Dead.
All right, that's a 7 for me.
Wow.
Noble probably has seen The Walking Dead. What was that?
Oh my God! he probably
7
has.
for me.
7?
7.
6.
Okay.
4.
Okay.
3.
Okay.
5.
So we'll bring up the rear.
Okay. So you all begin to book it down this thing, not engaging with the zombies at all, just going. But as you do, Nidar, because you're not really built for speed, you start to fall behind. Lucy, you grab onto Nidar to like try to help him go.
It's a
but that's
blanket thing. I don't go any faster than she does.
totally feel you.
So-
that, which then of course slows you down. That slows Kayla down, which means that all of a sudden you guys are being, and like Davin's not exactly like athletic. So now you are all essentially being threatened by immediate zombies.
Nida, can you reach these people?
Yeah, can I try to shut them down, like just stop them in their tracks?
Go for it, try. This is a telepathy control.
Take control. Okay.
That's right.
Get rid of the baddies.
What? Does it shine so bright?
It's gonna roll like a 16 and it's gonna be like, nope, nothing.
Doesn't look like. Well.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10.
Yes.
Okay.
That Xavier.
So you send out a like telepathic shockwave. This hits the whole area around you, and each of the Zocodal around you for a moment all kind of like hold their heads, and their stalks, the like black stalks, kind of freak out. And they all seem to be in a kind of like kind of a panic, right? They're like discordant. They don't really know what they're doing, and they're all just kind of stuck there for a second. So they were all just getting around you, and now they're freaking out. Davin looks down at her hand, and she goes, "We can attempt to beam, but it's I must admit, I'm very concerned for this place. I hope we can help."
Can you analyze the sample if we beam back now?
"We can attempt." And she walks up to one of them, the like busted one, and like uses a taser on it, essentially like a little handheld taser that she has, and it goes limp. And she grabs one of them.
Oh no.
Prepare to engage. And with that, the transporter hits all of you, and you suddenly find yourselves in a tall, clean room. White all around you, sort of like completely contained. It's like a giant white room.
All right. What's happened to these people?
One was screaming for help even while it was attacking me.
That's nothing
Its
good.
actions didn't match what I could hear.
Something controlling their minds or taking over their bodies?
This thing, and you can see Dr.
V.A.S.T.
Yeah, thank you. Dr. DeVos has already pulled a like laser scalpel and started dissecting the Zocodal head to like reveal the area of the stalk. Do not worry, this is not fatal. Though it looks like a head, there is no brain contained in this.
Well, I'm never
A
going to.
Zocodal can regrow from simply one limb.
That's handy.
It sort of starts to carve down onto it and starts to try to reveal the stalk.
Now the stalks is the stalk something they normally have?
No. No, I've never seen anything quite like this.
Are we in any danger from it?
I do not believe so while it is stunned.
But is the thing that could be controlling it also stunned as long as it is?
Yes, I believe the being inside is also stunned.
Throw me that taser.
Nicely done, Nidar.
You're welcome. I'm sorry I'm so slow. I will work on that.
We can trade that gift for running. I say we're in the clear winners.
I recognize this. Oh, somehow
There's like an elephant in the room too.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's a thing.
it's weird. Not sure why that is.
Elephants in the store.
This is a zoo.
This is the Thitterod parasite. Thittarod. No one has seen this in centuries. We thought it lost until now it was. Captain, we are in far greater danger than we thought. If this has infected the Zocodal and the Zocodal fuse with their worlds, it means that that entire planet is endangered.
Can it be saved?
Perhaps, but if this thing has infected the planet, we are running out of time.
What do we do? How do we fight the Ditterod parasite?
Well, you see, and she brings up a hologram of the parasite. It's a, here, I can actually show you guys.
Whoa.
What?
Doctor.
I feel like
It's a
every
kind of, see if I can show this on the stream.
No kidding.
It's a kind of like fungal stem. Kind of comes up off of the thing.
Oh wow.
And it embeds deep into the actual biology of the Zocodal.
I think every time you take the sunglasses off, you should have to make a pun.
Does it work on other species? Or is it Zocodal specific?
Hold on a second, sorry. Yes, I know. Okay. Hold, please.
Isn't there another distress signal as well?
There was
There was
the
both on the
Syrian
planet,
ship.
though?
Yeah.
The Syrian ship and the capital?
It could be that the Sirens were attacked by these controlled Zocodal.
Well, you see, I think perhaps it would be best if I simply ran something of a autopsy.
Autopsy?
Well, analysis. Cracks it open. Subject, unknown Zocodal. Cause of infirmary, Thitterod parasite. The Thitterod parasite has resurfaced after approximately 3 centuries dormant, likely the cause of dormancy, frozen in, and then she like takes off a little bit of what looks like crystal dust. The system immediately analyzes it. Yes. Frozen in rare space. Unable to infect or spread life beyond the rare's inorganic bodies. Destruction of rare space likely released said parasite. The stalk-like protrusion is fruiting body, allows the parasite to spread via spores, has certain mind-controlling abilities, keeping the biology of the dormant vessel while controlling it. Kind of opens up the body further, and the thitterod matter inside is white and hard to the touch. It's drained the surrounding zoochodal matter of nutrients, leaving it mostly dead. It's basically just like a mummified body for the thitterod parasite.
I take my jacket, close it, and zip it up.
You still have the thing on though, right? The suit?
Oh, no.
That's okay, you can still do that.
Yeah, I got my jacket on.
The parasite is unevolved due to its space containment, meaning that I should be able to synthesize a manner of antibiotic in a sub-1 standard hour. Recommended course of action, sterilize the ship, infected body, administer AB to Sharon 3C in mycelium. Interesting. And you can see it, she's just like, she's getting really obsessed with her work at this point.
Is this across species? Does it not matter?
You are currently protected by Tall Klee suit. Worry not.
No, I understand that. I'm asking just.
If we
Oh, yeah.
If we weren't protected.
If you weren't protected, you could be infected, yes.
It seemed to have infected the plant matter as well. The tree that I was climbing, it.
Indeed. It would have infected not the plant matter, but the zoochodal. You see, the zoochodal infect the plant matter. If this had infected the zoochodal, then it could infect the soil of the planet itself.
So what you're saying is we're safe to breathe?
Yes, you're quite safe.
No, you're fine.
All right, okay. Ugh. Spores consuming shit. I ain't dealing with it.
Quite fond of this word consuming.
I heard it and it's scary and I'm cool. It's fine.
Anything we can do to help?
Well, whatever we do, we cannot do it from here. An antibiotic must be synthesized, which I am already about halfway through the process of doing. And once that is done, it will need to be put directly into the cluster core of mycelium. You see, this is where all of the zoochodal themselves go to heal. If, presumably, because the zoochodal grow out of a fungal colony cluster and retreat to it when necessary for simple medical needs, however this got here, it must have infected the colony there. The zoochodal went to the colony. There they appropriated the parasite and then spread it amongst the planet. If we can, however, this would not necessarily change their need to return to the colony cluster. If we could create an antibiotic that we could implement in the colony cluster, perhaps then we would be able to cure the planet.
How do you guarantee that they'll all return to it to get the cure?
We will not. However, the colony cluster has deep roots into the woods and soil of the planet. So once we introduce it in one spot, it should be able to, from there at least, be able to infect beyond.
I still don't like it that we don't know exactly what the other distress call is about.
Well,
Well, we have a
making an
location of that
assumption
Siren
that
vessel
it's
now.
Unsafe.
What?
We have a location of that Siren vessel now. I believe that you spotted it while on the planet.
Yes.
We could perhaps
If you want to do a survey of the other site, we can.
I just think it's an unsafe assumption to make that they are suffering as a result of the first problem we came across.
If you want to make a survey of that site, we can.
I think you should.
How long will it take for your antidote to be ready?
roughly an hour.
All right.
We have time to check it out.
How quickly can you get us back if we run into trouble down there?
Well, as previously indicated, my transporters seem to be near instantaneous.
Dr. DeVos, thank you.
And you, Captain. Good luck on the planet.
Should we have a tall Klee come and assist us in case any more scans are needed?
Got anyone you can spare?
Sure. I would rather I do it myself. I am the foremost expert on these things, but I am needed here to synthesize the antidote. I suppose I could send Oria with you.
I'd like that.
Excellent. Oria! And a little hologram appears next to her. Yes, Captain. Or yes, Doctor. Please proceed along the beam. Yes, Doctor. And you are all beamed back down to the planet, this time into the wreckage of the Siren vessel.
Oh, wreckage. Did we know that?
I just saw, I don't think we
Yeah, I
knew
don't think
much.
we knew
We
it
just
was
saw
wrecked.
the edge of something shiny.
Yeah, hold on a second. Sure, I have what I need here. Doop, doop, doo, doop. Doop, doop, doo, doop. Okay. You arrive inside of it, and the ship is at like this angle. It's crazy. You're down here and you're kind of looking up towards the bridge of the ship.
Like crash land.
Yeah, but not crash landed. The ship is actually in totally good health. What's happening is that the ship is currently being consumed by the ground beneath it. The planet, infected, is itself now trying to absorb and eat this vessel. So as you look down behind you, what you see are tendrils slowly moving up the ship.
Are there life signs inside?
There are no life signs in sight.
So then what's sending the distress signal? Just
The ship itself at the bridge.
It was like an automated.
It is an automated distress signal.
Any bodies, or have they been consumed?
You see, hold on. The hallway's slanted, flickering, sparking overhead lights are the only source of light. You can hear at the end of the hallway a low white noise behind a shut door. Otherwise, you see nothing else.
why would they infect the Zocodal and not the Siren?
Maybe they did. Maybe they're gone.
Maybe the Siren are still here.
Well, there's no life signs.
No life signs.
If they've consumed them, it's all one life sign.
But there's no life signs.
Maybe they're out there in the woods.
I mean, seems to confirm that it's part of the same situation. That was my only concern.
I'm glad we checked. Is there anything else we can learn here? Can I do a perception check?
Sure. I mean, the perception check is giving you that door down the hallway. Beyond that, there's, you're honestly in a hallway, flickering lights. There's a door down there from which the distress signal is coming.
Okay.
Is it worth checking out?
There could be records of what they were doing here.
Yeah, stand by to beam.
Standing by.
Ready to open this door?
Oh,
Wait, so we walk to the door?
sure.
So you get down to the door, and the door, the automated system that opens it is not opening. So to get into this door, you're gonna have to force it somehow.
Okay.
Does anyone have any hacking capabilities?
I do. I can try and hack it.
You can. I mean, the computer systems are pretty low level, but maybe you can get it back up and running. Roll for hacking for 16. Actually, you know what? This is a field engineering check, less a hacking check.
Oh. Yeah, I only have a blacksmith check. I don't have a.
Yeah, I can make you a field engineering check.
I don't think that'll be very good, actually. Does anybody else have field engineering?
Got one in field engineering.
Oh, okay. I don't think that'll be really helpful, actually.
I have
Oh,
large
okay.
claws.
Think you can brute force
You
it?
could just brute
I look
force
for a hanging pipe or a bar of some kind.
Actually, I'm gonna see if the claws will cut through the door.
Okay, nice. So let's try that first. Taka,
Yes.
roll for your claw attack. That's 17, please.
Okay.
Hey, just an idea. What if this door was shut on purpose?
Then we're beaming out of here.
Well,
All right.
we know at least there are no life signs behind it, and we have protective suits. Should there be?
Oh, holy crap.
Don't always trust science.
3.
Oh no.
3.
Yeah.
You slice it down on the door, and it basically just makes a super gnarly scratching sound. It scratches the door, but to get to do it, you'll have to keep doing that.
Does anyone else have any other
Well, what is my field engineering check? Like super small?
Yeah, let me tell you. Sorry. It's a 9. So you have a chance of success.
Not too bad.
Honestly, you have a better chance just literally taking your 2 arms and opening it.
Oh, well, let's do that
Do
then.
that.
Is that just like a brute strength thing? Then
Yep.
yeah.
So that would be a strength check.
How are we gonna get through this door?
Strength,
This is such a critical role moment.
hand to hand.
How do you want to do this? Brute force.
Well, no, just they've had they have a history of having problems with doors.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Someone
brute
got
force.
stabbed once when they were opening a door.
What?
It was like.
It didn't go well.
It was very. It took like 20 minutes.
They used the knife to pick the door. And the knife.
No, they used a sword to try to lift the bar on the other side when someone was on the other
Oh
side.
dear. Oh dear. Sorry, guys.
Good idea on paper.
That's going to be a 15.
Ooh.
There you go.
Okay, I'm gonna throw 3 in there
Okay,
of willpower, so I'm gonna do 18.
nice.
So Nidar looks at her in awe because he has no arms. Officer, I have little mechanical arms.
Yeah. Amazing. I love you, Wow, arms.
Nidar, you realize how
10.
many arms I have.
Kayla
Yes, you do.
reaches
You're
to the
a very
door
impressive
as
team.
you all like try to
Why
figure
don't
out what
you
you're gonna do and like try to get a bar and can I correct this? Kayla just walks up to it, puts her hands on the thing and just opens it up.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, actually, my strength check.
It's at this point, Noble falls
maybe
in.
could have my strength check. 14.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't know what it's called. It's been happening, and then that sealed the deal. He just was like,
I haven't seen a brightest eye. I haven't seen anybody but a brightest eye. Like that.
do that. I want to do that.
All right. Revealed by this check is the bridge,
And I'm
which
keeping-
looks like someone tore it apart. There is a. It is a standard sort of Siren bridge, which means that there's not many positions on it. There's a place for a pilot, there's a place for a couple of weapons officers, and there's a captain's chair. The seats are kind of like knocked to the side. Everything's kind of on the fritz, and the view screen is cracked. But there does seem to be power running through the bridge because it is sending the distress signal. That's coming from one of the 2 tactical stations.
Does anybody else have hacking or computer ability
I do.
besides me?
I do.
Can we team up and do this?
Yep, we can. What's your computer?
My hack. Well, it depends if it's hacking or.
It's hacking.
16.
14. I'll help you out.
Great, you guys do it together.
Yep.
I'll just perception listen to see if I can sense anything about what happened here.
Sounds good.
Oops.
Whoopsie daisy. Cancel that out.
I made a mistake.
Did you make an oops as well?
Oops. Yes.
Oops is a happening.
I have to say, I'm really happy that I bought a set of new dice because they are treating me very well right now.
Nice. How'd it go?
Good.
Oh, I haven't counted yet. I can just.
Oh, okay.
I got a 5. It's not gonna help you much.
Yeah, it'll add 1 dice to her pool.
Yeah. All right. All right. All right.
Well, I got a 14, so I
So
feel
it's
like.
and that pops you up to a 15, which is a super out.
Wow.
It's really nice. All right, so you guys walk up to the thing. As you do, you guys walk up to the station. As the rest of you walk into the room, you notice that there's a body in the captain's chair, a dead Siren body. It's a homeworld Siren, so not the like sort of buggy insect like you've seen with Gasco Ueno, but a much more sort of humanoid, pale skin, dark eyes, sort of, the space goths. There's one of them, and it's kind of like it's like it's been dead for a while,
Well, the space guy
How long?
maybe a week.
Maybe a week? That distress call's been going for a week? What was it? Died of what?
Looks like it died of I think it died of Zocodal. I think that there's a it looks like it's like or no, you know what? It died of starvation. Like it like couldn't leave the ship, and couldn't get the ship off the planet.
Not good. Couldn't get the ship off the planet.
But it's the only one left, so clearly others tried to leave, and were not successful.
And I got a 6 for perception lesson.
Yeah, this place was the scene of a great deal of anguish.
So what are we getting off the hat?
So, a video pops up on the cracked view screen. It's staticky and blurry, and you can hear the captain before you see her. I'm sorry, right? It's a female captain. We brought the we brought the shipment to the planet, and it up, and you can see her face. But I must ask, do you really think this is a good idea, Miss Ueno?
I'm sorry, what?
Miss Ueno.
Gasca.
And suddenly, the familiar face of Gasco Ueno appears on the screen. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. After all, what the brightest eye don't know won't hurt him. And this is so worth it. I mean, who doesn't want a helpful workforce? So, it's a little mind control. So what? Just, be careful. Only infect a few of them. Let me get a sense of how it works on them. Then we'll get you out of there.
Recording.
Consider yourself a little science research station, like you're doing some, tall Klee cosplay. And then there's it sort of glitches out and starts to repeat.
Can you record that?
It's already recorded.
Good call. How many of us were
Wow.
aboard? Can you tell from the computer?
This had a crew complement of 5.
So she want to make slaves. Oh, I see how it is.
This wasn't happenstance.
This was done intentionally, although it appears it got out of hand from what they intended.
Experiment gone wrong.
Who is this Ueno person?
Gasco Ueno, she is the most respected Siren. She is Mr. Siren.
Respected?
Yeah, I can't say that with a straight face.
That's an interesting.
She is their leader.
that
in
makes
a
more sense.
Yes.
Ooh.
The last time I met her, she cheated to win valuable information.
We saved
Yeah,
her
that was a
life.
bad deal.
We saved her life when we met her.
Familiar Terran personality profile, is it not, Lucy?
Very.
I'm going to, on my own accord, try and see if I can make a connection with the Siren.
What, from here?
Yeah, because we got power to the ship.
No, you have power to the local computers.
Local computer. So there was no transmitters besides the signal going
Yeah,
out?
no.
I don't know
The
what
ship
else.
is busted. There's
I don't know
there's
what
no
else we
way
can
you're
learn
getting
from this.
interplanetary
Totally understand.
communications
Totally
going on.
understand. Yep.
I think we should return and.
This was a good call. I'm glad we came. But
We
I don't
know
think
who
there's
to hold
anything more we can do
responsible.
here.
Yeah, engines aren't running, just a little power in this, in the bridge, correct,
Shall we
Jack?
ask for transport?
What's up?
Sorry, just double checking. Just there's a little power in this bridge. No other power to the ship. It's all
No.
pretty. Okay,
Yeah.
good to know. Thank you. Well, look, that's pretty damning evidence.
Yeah.
So I said we get out of here before we have some other bodies start coming alive.
Yep. Let's...
It's a good call.
I saw that Romero documentary. I'm not doing it.
The what?
Oh, sorry, it's before your time. Let's get out of here.
Let's go fix her mistake.
You beam back? Okay. You engage back to the clean room. When you arrive, there are 10 other tall Klee now in this facility. They are all working on in a lab that has been hastily manufactured in here. Each of them are working in like test tubes and beakers and all kinds of like really like old school chemistry stuff. And they have created finally a antidote, which is essentially deployed in this canister. It's about yay big.
Well, this thing just doesn't get old. Look at them going. They're so
Devaz walks up to you.
Sorry, I can't get over the glasses.
I know, it's how it goes.
I love them.
I just
Keep using them.
puts them on with a purpose. It's like,
I miss the giant ones.
Here it is. This should... Sorry, Mike. This should do the job. I insist on coming with you in case something goes wrong. I might be the only person capable of stopping it. You can tell, you don't even need to perception listen because you've been listening this whole time. She's terrified. There's like a deeper terror here, even than like, oh, I might die by zombies. Like this whole Zocodal thing has her really on edge.
We have found who's responsible.
Who?
Gasco Bueno of the Siren.
Of course.
She meant to only infect a few to create slaves that she could control.
I got a problem with having slaves. In fact, the entire Brightest Eye does now.
As they should have always, but that's
It's
a
not here nor
discussion
there right
for
now.
another
Not here nor
time.
there.
Fascinating.
Yes.
I would very much like to have a conversation with her.
So would I.
We have a lot
We
to
all
talk
would.
about, but let's fix her mistake.
I agree. The best I can do is get you close to mycelium. If I can get you there, you will be able to enter the complex directly. Once you are there, we must make our way to the center of the complex, and there, deposit this canister in the central core.
Anybody got a way to neutralize or repel these so that doesn't depend on Nidar saving our butts every 2 feet?
From what I can tell, and I'm embarrassed to say that we have done a little bit of testing on the poor Zocodal that we have found, for we do not believe that this one is capable of being returned to itself. It's been too far gone, the husk. From what I can tell, these things, if you attack the stem, they do not require much damage. One good shot to the head should do it.
Do what exactly?
Shut down the parasite, without perhaps shutting down the Zocodal around it.
I will say, everyone's got a pair of these. Non-lethal, generally.
Well,
I would caution you. Use of fists, while perhaps efficient, may provide an opportunity for excess material to make it onto your outer shield. If it finds its way through that inner shield to your body, we might be looking at a very different situation.
what about this?
Swords it is!
Yeah. What about this thing? Chop the head off.
Chop the stem.
Same difference.
Not exactly.
Not the same difference, Noble.
But yes, essentially.
Noble, you have considerable intelligence and I have seen you use it. You know how important the preservation of life is to our mission. Are you on board?
Can grow back from one arm. I'm fine. Stop the parasite. Basically, take this little thing. It's fine. It's going to live. Cut that thing at the stem where the neck or head is. Great. Nobody's going to die.
No more disintegrations?
Well, do you want to live?
What?
I'm going to choose you.
We'll cross that bridge when and if we get to it.
Thank you very much.
Until then, aim for the spory thing.
Aim for the spory thing. Okay, cool. You guys ready to head down?
Do it.
Down.
No time to waste.
Is the doctor coming with us, or?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Lucy, can I see that canister real quick? Jack, this is about the same size as a military torpedo or military rocket.
You suggesting you want to put it on the drone?
Yeah. I just shot 2, so there's space.
Yeah, if you want to try that.
Let's not do that just yet.
I mean, then we don't have to go close and just drop it.
I understand that, but
No,
I don't.
you do have to go close. You
I
cannot
don't
just drop it.
I don't trust a machine like I trust a pair of hands.
You got it.
Thanks.
Okay. So with that,
We all go marching to our doom.
with that, you beam down. You are now at the edge of the forest you previously escaped, looking at mycelium in the short distance. Around you, around mycelium, there are sort of hordes of these things, kind of walking very slowly, just kind of, stems up in the air. Behind you, the forest writhes itself, and you can see the ship that you were just in slowly becoming more and more consumed by the planet.
Do we think they're susceptible to a distraction of some kind? Can't hurt, can it?
Wait.
Can your drone make cause a distraction that might lure them away from the center?
It has 2 more rockets before it's out of weapons.
Damn. It can, but I'd rather save rockets for if we're in trouble.
Should only need one.
But it has guns. It has machine guns. It has
Won't
rail
make-
guns.
Won't have the same effect as a rocket. I say you spend one and try and.
Well, let me. Hold on. I start walking and mimicking like them. I saw this once.
No.
Okay.
Wait, okay, no, I'm sorry. I don't rank him, right?
Well,
Technically-
I mean, yeah. There's no you two both have a rank issue, which is that you aren't actually members of the fighting force.
You don't outrank me.
So
Sorry.
Noble.
You don't get to say that.
Noble,
Ambassador.
I'm down to try this. It's an insane idea, but I'm down to try it.
All right.
So this is a bluff check.
Oh, this is good.
When this doesn't work, can someone else operate this drone?
Manipulation,
I have a idea for a distraction.
persuasion,
Sounds good.
subterfuge.
We could also try what we did last time and make them not see us. I could try that. If
That is a great
there's an
idea.
Better idea.
I don't know, I kind
see
of want to
that.
see if this works or not.
I know. I kind of want to.
I kind of want to see.
I want to too.
Jack, is
Go ahead and do
What?
it.
8.
I'm gonna throw 2 willpower into that.
Okay.
Even
just as
10.
an aside, how close is that Siren ship
Yeah,
we
how-
were just on?
50, 60, or no, like 100, 120 feet away.
Is that within gun arm range?
Yeah, technically.
I could.
Nidar, go ahead and do it and let him think it's working.
Would you also like me to blow
How'd
up
it go?
that ship that's being consumed as a distraction?
That's a nice backup.
7.
7.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
Hold on. I'm gonna check against that.
He has to roll for one roll for each member of
They
the
also
board.
got a 7. So here's what happens. That's almost the worst case scenario for you. Noble steps out into the horde, doing his best zombie impression, and at first it looks like he's actually kind of getting through, until he's like surrounded by them, and then they all turn to him, and all attack at once.
Oh, Jesus.
Noble, you are consumed by Zocodal zombies. You are literally consumed by the Zocodal, and for now, are out.
Wait, I have.
Whoa! I can't roll against that.
No, you cannot. You walked into a horde of zombies.
Shit. Well,
I would like to go help immediately.
Okay. So you are now in combat with a horde of Zocodal zombies.
well, there you go.
Can I do the thing? Because if I'm not fighting the zombies,
Damn it.
is it initiative to blast the Siren ship?
You
as
can
they
just do that. I know you were prepping that plan anyway.
Yeah, I want
so
to. I want to blast the Siren ship with the gun arm, Talkley gun arm, and hope that creates a distraction.
Okay, go for it.
Noble, damn it! You better be pulling your weapon while you're in there.
And I still have the scope from Terra, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, Jack. I don't have quick draw. I mean, anything.
It's not about quick draw, man. You walked into 50 zombies.
You didn't say there
amount-
were 50.
I said there was a horde. What did you
No, you
think they
didn't. It
were?
was like-
Yes, I did.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
I
He
did.
did say
You made all
horde.
these choices, Dylan. I didn't make these
all right.
choices. You decided to play it funny,
Maybe we
and now
would
you're
bring
getting
him
eaten by
back
zombies.
if we could
I'm like,
No, that's it.
Let's start hacking. Yay!
There may be a way to bring you back if we can fix what's going on in the center.
7 for the
Lucy's
gun
gonna
arm.
use every shred of irritation she has with you
7
to save
for
your
the
stupid
gun
life right now.
For targeting.
Great.
cool, you got it.
And that's 10 damage.
Yeah. So you aim back at the nacelles just as that happens and fire. As you do that, the horde starts to like move away.
Oh, nice.
Sort of flowing away from Noble and heading over towards the
All right,
the
so
ship.
what I'm doing is I'm
with him or
going
do
in
they
to
not?
grab him.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah.
Like-
So, as you run over, you see that Noble is now fused with the ground. Whoa. Essentially, he's got Zocodal bits and pieces all over his arm, his face, it's in his mouth, and it's down up into his like bottom limbs. D.Va.S. walks up with you and grabs your arm. He can only be saved if we manage to make it to mycelium. If we do not activate the core soon, he will be consumed by the planet.
Here we go.
Noble Defender, can you hear me?
You can hear her, but you cannot speak.
We will be back.
You can't just leave him here.
You're gonna have
We're
to.
going to do. We have to do what will save him. He is my friend. We will save him.
You don't leave a man behind. That's not how this works.
Then you can
could
stay
sh-
with him.
Could you take a serum and shoot me?
You can stay here with him.
No, don't.
I don't
just
know.
go.
Kayla,
Take a.
Kayla, right now he is not a man. He is part of the ground. We need you with us, and we will come back for him. I
Here,
promise.
Take this. If you want me to stay, I'll stay.
Are you crazy?
You're 10 times as strong as I am, and we need someone to take that thing in there.
If we hurry, he will be fine.
It's not
D.Va.S.,
my.
is he going to be eaten any faster if we're here or not here?
I do not believe so. It seems like the others Zocodal have been distracted by your limb's ingenious attack.
I'm not the captain here. It's your decision.
Captain, we have to move now.
We need to hurry.
Go.
I'm gonna pat his
Jerking
cheek.
your head in that direction.
We put a flower near his head.
All right.
Take the drone. Take the drone. Take the drone.
And we
I
take
think
the
you're
drop.
holding the controls.
Yeah, aren't you holding the controls?
Yeah, the
the
controls are
ground
kind of
ate
like
the
fused in with the
controls.
planet. Like it's.
Oh shit.
okay, we're good.
I thought it was in my pocket. Fuck. All right.
All right. Well,
D.Va.S., do you have anyone else you can send? Just keep an eye on him.
What was that?
D.Va.S., do you have anyone else you can
She's with
send? Just
us.
keep an eye on him.
I can send down a couple, but they will not be much use against these things if they do come back. I will attempt, however.
Give us a shout if he's in more danger.
Cool.
I'm gonna pretend she said cool.
Yeah, I said cool. Yes, absolutely.
Apparently not.
So two tall Glebe beam down to protect Noble. They have these little like gun arm things. Not like gun arms, but like kind of lower level versions of what you're talking about that just sort of sit around the wrist.
I just say it to
You were
them.
right.
I say
This
thank
is
you.
better.
And they go, 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 go!
Let us run.
let us run.
There you go.
All right, speed checks for the four of you.
God damn it.
Oh man, speed again. It's not very good.
Seven.
Okay.
6.
Okay.
Four.
Okay. 4. Cool. So yeah, at that point, it's a 7 and a 6 plus a 4 and a 4. It's basically a full. You guys are running. You make it to mycelium without further zombie resistance. Mycelium is a essentially, you know, from the outside, it kind of look like a mountain, but once you're inside of it, it looks a lot more like a cavern. The inside of it has huge sort of transparent crystals and fibers that are heading upwards in these various kind of amazing natural configurations, not built but grown. The whole place itself kind of buzzes with that static that you heard. Now all of you can hear it. It's like deep in your mind. It's
That's
honestly
what
in
I've
your
been
mind
hearing.
most of all.
That sounds.
This whole place is infected and it's humming with it.
Can I sense where that is coming from?
The core cluster?
Yeah, the core cluster.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I just want to make sure I actually get the right description here. So as you head in, what little light there is above begins to vanish as you hit the cave floor, replaced by a trail of faintly glowing lichen across the cave city's walls. That's like the only light you have. Mycelium looks like something has actually torn through it, right? The cradles where infant Zocodal are cultivated are overturned, items and weapons are scattered across the floor, and there's a trail of fading, you know, foxfire leading you deeper underground. This close to the core, and D.Va.S. kind of whispers to you, this close to the core, they will be too in pain to lash out. Those infected by the parasites should not attack us from here.
Do you know which way to go?
Can I actually, like, my cybernetic eye can see, like, all kinds of spectrums. Can I see if there's anything that
Go for it. Yeah,
those
roll.
spectrums uncover?
Yeah, roll a, this is a perception check, please.
17.
That's an 8.
Okay. So what your eye does is it actually maps the place. You can look down ahead of it and you can see it as if it was clear as day. You can actually see through these walls and manage to find your way, because it's all biological material. You manage to find the quickest route to the center of mycelium.
All right, follow me. Let's go.
I follow.
Stay alert.
I'm gonna do the gun arm as the in flashlight mode, just so we all have more light.
Flashlight
It
mode.
does. It has a
That's
flashlight.
awesome.
I love it. Of course it does.
As you walk, Devaz steps up between the two of you, Kayla and Bard. Back on my world ship. Back on the Elkire. I heard you when you were talking about my motivations, why I do this. Why I want to join your peacekeep. Truthfully, it is because of things like this. When I was younger, and the universe was younger, I was less kind, or perhaps less interested in kindness. I knew the Zocodal best because I researched on them for centuries. I went to their planet before they developed space travel, and I took them, and I carved them, and I disintegrated them, and I studied them. Zocolt was my petri dish, as it were. But once, there was one. It was an anomaly, you see, for it had stayed alive longer than any of the others I had ever endured. Despite the horrific pain that I put them in, you see, still they looked at me. I was cutting it wide open when delirious and finally dying, the Zocolt, whose name I never knew, grabbed my hand. And you see, for the first time, that her hand has little, like, pockmarks on it. It absorbed part of me. And instead of killing me, it simply pushed into my head the fear and pain and dying thoughts. You are hurting me. I want to go home. It looked into my eyes, and there it died. This is how my sect began. This is when I began the world ship natural selection. This is where our reverence for nature and for non-interference first began. I thought I was the greatest monster these people had ever encountered. It is clear now I was not. Even if we do not join your peacekeep. I hope perhaps this can act as a redemption.
Let me make this clear. You're still a monster.
I know. And as this happens, you reach the colony core, in the deepest part of mycelium. It's a huge mass of sticky white and gray. As you approach, it seems to notice you and shrinks back, groaning. But there's nowhere for it to go. V.A.S.T approaches. Captain. Could I do the honors?
I'd say it's a heck of a start.
She takes it and reveals sort of activates a syringe off of it and looks at the thing. I'm sorry for the pain this will cause, but not for that it will relieve. And pushes it in. And there's no immediate reaction.
Why is nothing happening?
I don't know. I don't know. This should work.
Perception listen.
And suddenly, as you begin to listen, you can go ahead and do it if you like, but this is all about to change.
Okay.
The core reacts in pain. It roars and it writhes, and the cave, the whole world, quakes violently. V.A.S.T turns to you. We need to calm it. We need to calm it all, or it won't matter whether the infection is routed out or not. It's reacting in panic. The planet might tear itself apart. Your friend might tear itself apart. Up above, you're now feeling all of this writhe around you. The planet is starting to suck you in even deeper, and the rage of it is filling
How
your
do you
mind.
calm a planet?
Can I somehow, if I'm connected to it, can I somehow try and calm it? If it's all one organism?
Definitely an attempt.
Absolutely. I have
So go for Noble. This is a composure check to start.
Captain,
is
I
11.
think I can try doing what I
I'm
can. I've never
throwing-
spoken to a planet before, but
5 willpower.
If I can help,
Okay.
let me know. Do your thing.
And
So-
if I can help, let me know.
Jack, is there any way I can try talking to the core? I mean,
Dude,
I've
you've had
never
pretty
done
good
that before.
psychic
All right.
use throughout the rest of it, you know what I mean?
And I don't know if Taka can help with anything or not.
Yeah, if there's any way I can listen and communicate, and he can use my look through my senses to see deeper at.
So okay, what order do we want to do this stuff in? So he's gonna do a check, then you want
We both
Night
have
Art.
to do assist, but I'm not
Yeah.
psychic, so.
Cool. So the first thing we'll do is I want to just check the Night Art check to see how it is initially, and then I'm going to talk about what that means.
Okay.
And that'll help
That'll
support this
determine
stuff.
if she needs the support.
10.
Cool. So, what are you thinking about? Because you're not connected to the rest of them, so I'm curious.
Right.
Or actually, you know what? You still got comms.
Yes.
So I'm going to say you can still hear this stuff.
Okay.
You hold on a second.
Okay.
I'm going to consider that your assist check.
Great.
All right, what am I rolling here? Is it 20? Is it 21?
This is a telepathy empathy.
Empathy, 12. Okay.
12.
Can I throw some willpower into
100%.
that?
You got 10 willpower. What do you want to throw in?
I'm going to throw in. Let's throw in 4 willpower.
Okay. So 16 then.
16. Bullshit. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. So hold on a second. That's a full success. I just want to check against it.
Okay.
Okay, so they rolled a 7.
Oh.
So that's successful, at least in its initial penetration of the mind, right? And what you feel is an intense loneliness. The Zocodal inside of all of this, the thing that's freaking out, reacting, the Zocodal are very used to being like one organism, constantly, much like the minds, constantly kind of together and then only as individuals out to share experience to then bring it back to the whole. But what you feel now is that they don't have a whole anymore. There is no home. Everything's been separated and parasited and been individualized.
This is because of the parasite.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you feel that sense of not having a family, not having a home, not having a
Is there any
home.
way to communicate to them that if this goes away, that it'll come back?
put my hands on Nidar's jar, and that lullaby I was singing at the beginning, I want to send it through him.
Okay, cool. Roll your, this is a empathy check.
I don't think I have that macro.
Hold on, I'll let you know.
My empathy is up to 5, so it should be
Yes, show
reasonable.
something.
Okay, so this is your presence, your composure, your empathy, your...
Does listen go into
I'm going
this?
to put your listen in, yeah.
So listen, empathy.
16.
Okay.
So,
I'm going to put 4 willpower into this.
okay. And I'm going to say you start singing out loud.
Okay.
So that you put it on and you start singing the song, which means that all three of the rest of you also hear this. You know what that means because you heard the song when you stepped in. But like she's specifically trying to like put like calming energy of home and family in. So if you guys want to find a new way of helping with that, feel free.
Well, to me,
can
it
we
just
help?
sounds like
It
singing
just
in a
sounds like
foreign
singing.
language, right?
Yeah, totally.
We're just sending calmness through it, right?
All right, so
And we know that we can, like, Noble can do that from being trapped inside?
Yeah.
Is that information that Lucy has? I think that's all
No,
been established?
Noble's kind of doing that because he's hearing what you guys are going through, but it's not necessarily information you have.
Well, I mean, what could we do? Like, we don't have.
I turn my suit off and I touch the ground.
Okay.
great.
What?
What? No?
That's a terrible idea.
And I got an 8.
Cool. So that's gonna plus him by 3, so that's gonna pop him up to an outstanding, which is cool. So as that goes on,
Can I pull her? I'm just
But you can-
gonna
well, you
do
can be like-
this
They're fighting.
right here.
you can be like, no, don't do that, as she like reaches down. But I mean, do you want to literally try to stop her before she makes it?
What the hell are you
Before
doing?
she undoes her suit protection and touches the ground
Yes.
full of yes.
Okay, so that is a. This is gonna be a. Reflex check essentially between the two of you. This is almost like a PvP roll. Kayla, roll 19.
Make this freaking difficult, don't you?
Lucy Bar was a
Kayla,
flower
roll
child.
19.
Do I have any advantage since there's no warning that I'm about to do that?
Yes,
Because I don't have any physical advantages, that's for sure.
yes. Go ahead and roll.
You know how to shake
Go ahead and roll
dice.
14.
14?
Which is it's your hand-to-hand plus 6 for your for the fact that you were doing this in an unexpected way. But like Kayla's reflexes are great, so I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't want to check it that hard.
I know what
12?
I'm made of.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11!
Oh! All right. So you grab her hand literally like as it is about to touch the ground.
Kayla,
You out of your mind?
either this works or it doesn't work.
Either.
And Bard like forces her hand down.
Probably shouldn't be able to do because you're hella strong, but I'm
I
trying.
mean, that's the thing. If you want to try to stop her, you can.
I mean,
Okay, what's going on? All right.
you know what? I tried once.
So basically your hand goes down with hers. You have your suit on like down around
mine's
the
not
wrist,
still
but you're
on.
like down
Yeah.
with her.
So this thing needs to calm down, right?
Yeah.
So Takah's singing.
Yes, which
So
is working.
I need to start talking to it.
Yeah, well, that's what you're doing
Okay.
through the, like, you're essentially acting as that already.
Okay.
If you want to talk, feel free.
And I'm just thinking.
Hello there.
I want to know what
I'm just-
peaceful thoughts are from you in a minute,
Yeah.
but let me, actually, hold on. I want to go down this because then you're going to be the
Cool.
communication. What are peaceful thoughts to you, Noble?
I'm just, to me, flying a ship in blackness, just at peace. Looking at that.
Alone?
You know what? When I saw Terra for the first time, and I flipped the ship upside down. That's what I'm thinking of.
Okay. Thoughts of home? Thoughts of home?
The Avalon.
Thoughts of home?
Does it matter what I'm thinking? Because
No, because you have an interface.
Yeah, just keep us all alive. That's cool.
But then,
I'm thinking how dumb they all are.
Yeah.
but then
and,
writing Viz at the same time.
Writing this.
Writing this. Well, we were.
And all of this is feeding through Nidar. Well, you're feeding directly, but you can feel Nidar as a presence now in the thing. By the way, inside the core, as you like are absorbed into the bottom of the planet, like your hand is starting to get absorbed into the planet, you feel the antibiotic chasing the parasite as the Zocodal scream throughout the planet. You can feel it moving through the planet. And as you see that, you project your own memories, and in return, you see V.A.S.T in front of you do the same thing to the mass. And you can feel V.A.S.T's life. First attending the academies on Homeworld, her last experiment on that yellow Zocodal, meeting Simon for the first time. You see memories of the Zocodal from generations ago, their first living moments, feeling the sun for the first time, visits and disappearances from the Tall Klee, and watching Zokult's destruction from a Pac-Ha ship. Everything they've ever known wiped away like nothing, and then making a new home here on Sharon, joining the Peacekeep and feeling the stars for the first time. And with all of that, Nidar, you speak.
Hello. I want you to know that there are a lot of us here, and we're trying to help you. You are sick, and we know things feel very bleak, and I sense you feel like there's no hope. But we are here to bring you hope. We are here for you. And we've given you some medicine to fight this sickness you have, but we need your help in order for it to take effect at all. And what we need from you is to understand that you're not alone, that we are with you, and we are here, and we are not leaving you alone. We are not leaving this planet until you are healed. You can beat this, and we are going to beat it with you. Think about your families, and think about your world and your home. They are still here. They are still here. We are with you. But you need to take a breath and calm down so we can help you.
And as all of this happens, and you can even start to hear these words echoing through the cavern around you, but the cavern itself is starting to collapse and contain. You start to wonder, like, maybe you've signed up with a crew that is about to get you killed. And then, like, your first time in space and you're about to get eaten by a mushroom planet. And as that happens, all of a sudden, you wake up. All of you. There's like a huge flash. And you wake up outside of mycelium on the forest floor.
Is he with us?
Yes.
Okay. By the way, I had just tweeted when you said that. I had been like, everyone on this Peacekeep crew is crazy pants.
Yeah.
Run over
Wait,
to
is
Noble.
Noble back to normal?
Wait, hold on the Noble thing. Noble's not with you yet.
Okay.
The sun is rising behind the clouds. You can hear groaning. And as you stand, you can see Zocodal all around you rising up from the ground. They look around, kind of dizzy and confused, but you can see the stalks are gone.
I'm sorry, I'm not waiting though. I'm hauling ass to where he was, like right now.
You run. And you run towards mycelium, towards the field ahead of it, and find Noble there just lying on the ground, but no longer consumed by it. Noble, you're waking up.
Noble!
Oh, thank God.
Get up, you idiot.
What happened? Oh, what happened?
What happened?
Did it work?
No, it didn't work.
Oh, God.
You're an idiot.
Consuming pores. What was I thinking?
We'll have to talk about that later. Are you okay?
I'm never watching another documentary again.
That does not answer my question. Are you okay?
And she kneels down to you.
Come on, let's go.
I just got consumed by a planet.
Well, I got you now. Let's go.
All right.
Get up.
All right. God. Oh.
All right, come on. Let's go.
Nice. And you carry Noble
You know
back
that?
toward the crew.
Look, remember that thing?
Don't think I'm gonna let you forget this anytime soon, by the way.
I can't. Shut up.
They a group back on the road. A group of Zocodal approach you from the other side. One in particular has a really large head. His head kind of comes up in a huge crest that itself is pointed with a bunch of like fungal, very like ornamental fungal pieces. You recognize him from the files at the beginning of this mission as Zocolt Catrono, the governor of this colony.
Supposed to be here.
He steps up to you. Captain Lucy Bard.
So-called Catrono.
What happened to us?
Your world was attacked.
Yes. And it would seem our world was defended. Thank you.
Are you all right?
It would appear. Yes. Not all of us, but many. More than not. And then their eyes float up to, or what passes for eyes, float up to V.A.S.T. And there's a long pause for a second. You are her. The Talkly. And V.A.S.T. like can barely move and just nods. And Catrono takes a step forward. You saved us. V.A.S.T. again nods. And Catrono bows. Thank you. And you see, you've never seen this before, a tear start to collect in the tall Glee's eye. With the planet saved, you return to the Avalon and the ship that it had currently been docked in.
I don't conceal from Catrono that we have more information on what happened if they deserve to know.
Yeah, no question. They're a Peacekeep member world. There are Zocolt Peacekeep starships. They offer you every assistance that the Zocolt can. In fact, they have many ships, like, say, Zocolt Harundan, who you encountered in your first game, who are out there as, like, private Zocolt military or private Zocolt explorers. They are at your disposal towards making whatever this was right. The Zocolt don't go to war. That's really not part of their culture. But they are absolutely interested in making sure this doesn't happen again. At your back up on the ship, the tall Klee all applaud you as you arrive back. The whole ship have
I
all
want
sort
on
of
the record
assembled.
that I hugged Nidar's jar. Just throwing that out there.
Thank you, Kim. V.A.S.T. steps forward to you. If I had the ceremony music from the end of New Hope, I'd be playing it right now. Nidar, Your abilities, your incredible abilities may have begun to save us. But I believe it is your kindness and your empathy that truly saved this planet. Before now, I thought the minds were but tools of the brightest eye. It is clear, like all Tal Klee, I still have much to learn.
And I understand now that I also have a lot to learn from you.
Pac-Ha, I have never heard a sound so beautiful before, and I doubt I shall hear it again. A word of wisdom: if a Tal Klee does not come from the world ship natural order, natural selection, do not sing in front of them. They will surely dissect you to discover its beauty.
Thank you, I think.
I believe that was a Tal Klee compliment.
As close as it may get.
Noble defender.
Yeah.
I could feel your thoughts inside of our, well, consciousness down there. They were beautiful. I know sometimes you perhaps feel as if you have no home. I assure you, you have two. And as someone who has never had one, rest assured you are the luckiest being I have ever encountered. Kayla Torvis. I do believe without you we would all be dead. I do not live my life by the sword, and have rarely encountered a reason for it. Today you have given me very different data. I thank you, and I wish you well in your travels among this universe. Captain. I have admired you from afar for quite some time. There are many in the Tal Klee that do not understand someone as yourself. They consider you an ideologue. They consider your emotions dangerous. I myself believe you are something very different. You are perhaps the first person I have ever met that I consider a hero.
I appreciate the compliment. But those notions can be just as unreasonable as any other.
Yes. I am sure they can be. I look forward to better understanding the distinction. As a member of the Peacekeep, I hope.
If the Zilkotl can find a way to forgive you, it's not really a choice for me to make. But I know you did an awful lot of good today. Thank you.
Will you take my proposal to your leadership, at least?
That I will.
Thank you. Thank you. Orya, release their vessel. And from down the side, Orya hits a couple of buttons and the tractor beam is disengaged from the Avalon. Go in peace. We will await a decision.
I hope to see you again, Dr. DeVos.
And I you, Captain Bart.
So, where to next?
When you arrive back into the ship, you have been updated with a series of tall Klee. Take these off. You're updated with a series of tall Klee information systems. A good deal of the natural selection world ship database has been added to the Avalon's.
Let them touch my ship.
And that the Zolcolt Malcor comes up. Captain, I apologize. You see, no tall Klee entered the facility. I was given this data and installed it personally myself. It is only records.
Are you happy we have it?
Oh, yes.
Great.
Because let me show you this. And he brings up a screen that is the tall Klee consensus from all three world ships. You can see like each of the three is designated by a symbol, okay? And he goes into one of the three symbols. They're all, it's tall Klee language, so it's kind of gibberish to you guys. But he goes into one of them and moves through until he's got a personnel report, like an old scale history personnel report. And he goes back to one that is simply labeled Kazukul. And along with it comes a series of crossing signatures specific to his technology. I've been quite busy. You see, Noble Defender had very interesting technologies burned into his brain from the Pac-Ha incident last year. Behold, and he brings up he brings up a schematics where he's showing that the Avalon sensors have been being rebuilt specifically to track individualized like hidden warp signatures or crossing signatures. Seems the Pac-Ha had inklings on this tall Klee many moons ago. Or at least people like him. And now we know how to find him. And a course is plotted into husk space, but now that giant thing is a bullseye. There's one planet there that seems to be the tracker for this.
Didn't think it'd pay off that way. But sweet.
Now that I have heard this, do we still have a communication available to DeVos?
Sure. Yeah, you're still on the vessel.
Oh, we're still there. Sorry. Okay. Well, looks like we're set on a collision course for this guy. We've had some experience with one of the things that he's created with your technology coupled with something called a frere?
Oh, you speak of Victor Rampel?
I do.
I hope we can kill him.
Me too. However, in our current state, I'm not sure that's possible.
For the record, Noble, that guy you can disintegrate.
Personal feelings aside, because I doubt you deal in them much anyway. I'd like to send you a scan of myself. And I respectfully ask for any assistance you may provide that will help us and help me as a vessel fight what we're about to go up against.
And you see the small smile on her face get wider and wider.
And actually, Taka's
And my eyes just keep narrowing because I don't like this at all.
Taka's gonna lean in. You said this was made by a child. If an adult would like to take a look at it.
Oh. Yes. With your permission. I believe we can make wonders.
I think you'll find I'm not quite like any Terran you've ever seen before.
Oh yes, I clocked that in the eyes. I did not want to be rude.
No dissection. Are we clear?
Very.
I appreciate your help.
Indeed, we will prepare a lab. Let us begin. And with that, we end this episode of V.A.S.T.
Yay! Noble's alive!
You're alive!
That was amazing.
I can.
That was amazing.
That's
I'm gonna
what,
pretend to be a zombie.
what he knew.
I know.
Shaun of the Dead.
Honestly, like I know you're pissed at me because I like totally took you out of commission. I really like that beat because it is exactly the point of like I have a frame of reference for this. I can do a thing, and frankly, if you'd been one dice further on that roll, you would have been fine.
Yeah.
You just happened to roll a tie with them. If you'd rolled less, they would have just attacked you guys, and you would have had to fight your way through them. If you'd rolled more, you would have felled them out. You happened to roll the one thing
I took a risk,
that
baby.
created that situation. I think it turned out fucking great.
That was amazing.
That was beautiful.
We had our little lullaby duo.
Saving the world with empathy. Yeah, and big ups to Aki, who now has like whose songs have firmly entered the V.A.S.T canon in a way that cannot be ever broken.
Oh yeah, whose song just saved a planet.
That song just saved the Zilquote homeworld. So you know, there you go. That was amazing, guys. Really well done, everybody. I had a blast with that episode. Hey, Anne, come take a bow. Anne Mortensen Agnew, everybody.
You mostly didn't get eaten.
Anne had, no lie, here, we're going to squeeze in here because the shot's real small. Anne had, no lie, zombie builds for each of you in case you got absorbed. So like if he hadn't gotten absorbed by the so if you hadn't gotten absorbed by the ground but had gotten absorbed by one of them that was still walking, after a turn you would have turned into zombie noble.
That's cool.
And I would have you had an NPC check that you would have been running
I was
against.
like, what if someone's suit gets a hole?
so
I was
cool.
literally thinking that the entire time. I was
Yep.
like, ow.
Prepped for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty good, I think.
We'll save them for later.
Also, a ton of fungal research went into this,
Yes.
apparently.
Yeah, no, I really know a lot about mushrooms now.
They're delicious.
Knowledge is great.
Yeah, myceliums are actual things.
Yeah. Oh, right. Mycelium. I pronounced it wrong the whole episode. It's great.
It's okay. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Space.
All right.
Yeah, it's a space whatever.
So it's 11:20. I'm going to try to get everybody out of here. Thank you. Thank all of you. Oh, hey, that's a good thing to do. Thank you. Before we get out of here, just a bit of a special announcement. Sorry, hold on a second.
good.
And then I will do the whole thing. So I plugged my comic already, but I got to plug something else because it's like coming out this week. So if I don't plug it now, I'm really being a jerk. Yeah. I would like to invite all of you to watch this thing called Every Night. Every Night is a 3-part alien abduction story. It's really just like a very weird little indie drama that Rick Bear, who's one of our writers, wrote and produced. I directed it off of an idea that I had, but that was really built out with Rick. Stars the totally excellent friends of the show, John Cahill and Megan Rosati. It is genuinely like a piece of my heart. It's a weird, cool, interesting piece. A lot of the people here worked on it, and Amanda worked on it. A lot of people did a lot of really amazing work on this thing across the board. A lot of my RPG friends came together to make this. It was actually shot by one of the people in my Trek game. It's a really beautiful thing. So you can. So I'll be tweeting it out so you can find a lot of the links there. But it's produced by a company called Misfit Toys. So you should follow Misfit Toys. They are at Misfit Toys Video on Twitter, and is the same on Instagram and the rest of it. So check out Misfit Toys. They're putting out some really cool content, by which I mean they're putting out this. So come check it out and get on board the train. I'm sure there's a lot more stuff coming. What was that? And it comes out on Wednesday. So please check it out, get psyched, and enjoy it because I think it's kind of a wild, cool little thing. In the meantime, for Anne Mortensen Agnew, Ray Utarnatchit, Jody Hauser, Amy Dallin, Amanda Powers, and Dylan Duval, I am Jackson Lanzing, and I will see you in the future.
Bye.